down. Yeah, yeah, they shut the gate too fast. Call it peace, call it class. But I see who they wave through, and I see who they ask to move. Porch lights on the same old block, same old story, same old talk. If your skin says you don't belong, they can make a wrong look strong. But the fences don't define us, and the fear they feel will blind us. Every face they try to hide still stands right here tonight. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Names get tossed like stones from a driveway built on loans. They pointed brown hands first, then pretend they don't rehearse. But the steps on every street carry more than whitewashed dreams. We belong where we stand, no permission in our hands. Yeah, and the silence won't protect you when the pattern keeps on showing. Every wall they build in pride makes the truth come back alive. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Let it crack, let it show. Every lie they try to grow, one by one the voices rise till the whole thing can't disguise. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down.
What it do, guys? It's your boy, the Juice. And as you all know, my name is Troy Bradshaw, but I go by the Juice. Big welcomes those of you guys tuning in, guys. It's good to see you. Good to see you guys. I know it's quite late. You guys know I always take off late. I had to do it. It's been a rather busy week, as usual. But it's starting to calm down a little bit. So I think it'll get easier for me to stream a little bit more sooner and earlier as well. Somebody made me flyers. Shouts Christy. She had made me some flowers. I think her name is Christy. She had made me some flyers because you guys know I've been wanting to get out and get back on the ground and, you know, start getting out here and, you know, searching for some answers, kind of like AJ as well as Nick. However, I can't use the flyers, and I'm kind of sad because the flyers were like AI photos, so I'm gonna have to just make my own flyers. Thanks, Christy, so much for making me some flyers. But they gotta be the original photos of the actual perp, no AI photos whatsoever. And I think it was the same ones that I think Nick was showing. I don't know if AJ's showing those ones, but I cannot show people the AI photo versions. I have to show them the original photos, because the AI photos are completely different from the original photos. So the easiest way would be to just take the missing flyer they have on the FBI website, and then just print it on like a photo or as paper. Preferably, I'm probably going to do paper because it's much bigger. But if not, I'll probably do a photo because it might be much more clear on an actual photo. Hopefully my mic is nice and loud, or loud enough tonight. If it isn't, I'll turn it up. Not too, well, not anything. It's been super dry, guys. There hasn't been any type of really new updates at all. I know Sheriff Nanos did an interview about 4 days ago or so with KOLD News, so we definitely got to watch that. Nonetheless, he also has turned down the Cajun Navy, and I think that was as of the 30th. It might have been a little bit before that. I didn't check the date. But once again, the Cajun Navy offers their help, and here we are again. Sheriff Nanos has turned them down once again. I don't know why. I don't understand why. I don't even think I want to know why at this point. Also, in about 4 days, because today is the 6th, so July 10th is going to be that deadline for Sheriff Nanos. So just remember, we had to reach a goal of 122,000 signatures, valid signatures, and the goal is to, get them recalled, provoking a re-election. So we want to trigger a re-election, and hopefully that would pan out the way it's supposed to. Although I feel like there's something iffy about the situation that would make it still difficult moving forward. I don't know if that's really going to trigger it. But we hope so. And mainly we just hope that we reach enough signatures to get him recalled. But he's not removed immediately. He does, from what I've seen, he continues serving until the recall election results are certified. So if voters choose yes, recall him. He is removed from office. Whoever wins the replacement section becomes the new sheriff. If voters choose no, then they keep him, and then he'll finish his term, and the recall effort ends permanently. So the election must be held within, a legally defined window, which is typically 60 to 90 days after verification, depending on the Arizona recall law and county scheduling. So I don't know how this is all going to work, but we hope those are the results revolving around Mr. No-No there. I'm skeptical to see if we've even reached that goal. We do have we have more than enough of people that can vote to reach that goal. We have over 1 million people here in Tucson. I've told you guys this many times. Originally, I thought it was 500,000, but the even better news finding out later is we do have more than enough, which is 500,000 is more than enough. But I mean, 1 million is beyond more than enough people to put in enough votes to reach that goal. So 120,000 signatures is what we need. Where we stand, I cannot answer that question. They have not updated us. It's been so quiet pertaining to the signatures that I don't even know if it's still even in place at this point, because no one's brought it up. No one's covered it. No one's talked about it at all. So I don't know if the board meeting, something happened maybe in the board meeting and that canceled out the petition thing going on. I have no idea where we stand with the petition. I guess we'll just have to wait to see what happens on July 10th and see if we hear about anything in regards to that petition. Good to see you guys, by the way. Big welcomes, guys. I'm glad to see you guys here. I know it's fairly late. Big welcomes those you guys tuning in. I know Criminal Network was live. I know he's actually still live. I don't know if he's doing a panel tonight. I didn't see him doing any panel. Shouts to Criminal Network. I really want to get out here and get back on the ground. It's about that time to get out here. I feel like I, could be helpful to some of the guys out there that are trying to dig up some information to help this case. As you saw, I did post a video. I'm going to try to cover a little bit of the little girl that went missing, Javea Harris, out in North Carolina. So we'll see how that case goes. Chime in on that video I posted. It's not the greatest video. I'll get better at it. I don't really make videos, so eventually in time I'll perfect it, of course. But anywho, let me say hello to the folks in the chat, man. How y'all doing tonight? I hope everybody had a good 4th. Missed you all these last couple days. Haven't really got to go live as much as I wanted to this week. I am moving pretty soon, so I probably will have a couple days off to get settled in. But I will have more space, which is the good news. And I'll get to rearrange everything too, so I'm kind of excited for that. Summer, big welcomes, by the way. I know, that sweet little child. I know. Such a beautiful little girl, too. Sean Block, big welcomes. Thanks for all the jewels, by the way. Shouts to the my mod here, made in the UK, with the jewels. I appreciate that. Paige says, I last heard on 857s they were not going to get enough signatures. No, don't tell me that, please. We'll just act like we didn't see that comment there. We're just going to squirrel up. Summer, how you doing? Patrick, big welcomes, by the way. Captain Speedy. Was it Akita? Pratcher, I hope I said that right. Big welcomes. Good morning to Mary here. Julie, welcome. Sunshine Lady, good big welcomes. Daphne had a good podcast with list of people who stayed in the casita, which I sent to you, Juice. Interesting. I'm familiar with it because JLR had posted 5 people that stayed in the casita at one point in time. So really like odd names, like they're not like American names. I know Criminal Network brought up one of the guys that may have had a mother that stayed in the casita. However, I don't know if that was, that guy. But I mean, it looked like him, like almost like identical to the person that said they were going to be famous. He pulled up on 857 outside of Nancy's, and somehow Criminal Network dug up a childhood picture or a younger day picture of what it looked like to be that guy in his younger days next to his mother, but I don't know, which was one of the ladies that stayed in the casita just so happened to maybe have a son or somebody next to that guy that looked just like him. Sony, big welcomes. Good to see you, though. She's Shelly. April Davis, good to see you back, by the way. Unshell, welcome. Good seeing you guys all. Thank you guys all for chiming in as well, man. Big welcomes, guys. Man, I miss you too, Angel, and good to see you, by the way. Yeah, that is a sad case, Mr. Rooster. It is. That's terrible. And we just don't know, I hope that, and not to get off topic because we're covering Nancy tonight, but I just truly hope that these people just tell law enforcement where that little girl is. It's just a sad situation. It is. I mean, they shouldn't. I don't know. We'll save another live for that story. But listening to the father, I mean, you could just tell something isn't right. Something is off. He wasn't being truthful. I could tell he was stuttering. There wasn't really much emotion. He didn't seem like hysterical. He didn't seem like he had an urge to figure out what really happened to his daughter. Anybody that loses their child is going to have, they're going to lose their mind, period. I mean, he seemed like he was fine. He seemed like he didn't lose anything, if you ask me. But I hope that at least at the very least they're able to find Javea's remains, because that's just sad. Anyways, guys, moving forward, we will hopefully tonight be able to have a little bit of time to maybe open up the phone lines. I want to just kind of revisit a few things tonight. And I want to watch this interview that took place by KOLD with Sheriff Nanos. I know the interview room had brought it up and talked about it. I've yet to watch it, so you'll get to watch it with me for the first time. I haven't really watched it at all. The interview room, I didn't watch them either, so I only, caught a couple bits and pieces of the interview room, so I didn't, get to really see the video. So I'm kind of excited to see what he has to say. Although I already know what to expect. Probably a bunch of lies and nothing we want to hear for the most part. Angela, big welcome. That's heartbreaking. I can't imagine horrible. I agree. Truly agree. So sad. It really is. Anywho, guys, let's just dive into this real quick, because I don't have too much time. I know you guys probably don't either. People go back to work on Monday. I know I got work tomorrow. We got plenty of time, I guess, since I go to bed fairly late. But about 6 days ago, the Cajun Navy sat down and had a slight little interview with News Nation. And apparently, I feel like I've seen this video, and maybe they just reposted it or something. I don't know when this was, but it says 6 days ago. But anyways, the Cajun Navy has offered another proposal letter to the Sheriff Department, or Nanos, in other words, because he's the one in charge of this entire investigation. Play a little clip here of a gentleman who pretty much is, I'm trying to remember his name. My God, what's this guy's name? I'll get his name for you guys in a minute. It doesn't even matter what his name is. He's the one who pretty much leads, a lot of the way when it comes to speaking out, for the Cajun Navy. But let me go ahead and play this real quick.
And hopefully be here if it hits any populated areas.
All right. Well, we will certainly pay attention to that. But let's get to what we had you on to talk about tonight. The Cajun Navy, of course, for months has been trying to help Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos. You submitted a detailed plan of how you would assist in the search. You said, we're not trying to get in the way. We just want to give you extra resources to find Nancy Guthrie. Can you tell us some of the ways you think you'll be able to help, and why do you think that's still being rejected?
Well, I don't know exactly how many times it was rejected. We do know that there was a sort of like a blanket declination from the sheriff's office to accept any outside help. As far as, what we do, what we could bring to the table, mostly surrounded our ability to deploy canine teams and drone teams to the area. We really felt strongly that there was a good chance that she could have ended up somewhere along the border, just because there's a lot of human remains that get found down there. We have a lot of people who are familiar with that area and are good at searching. And so, again, just to be a force multiplier, extra set of eyes, ears, and hands and feet at this point, just to try to bring some closure to the Guthrie family. And, it makes it even harder when you see Savannah on TV all the time and knowing what she's going through. She's putting on a professional face, but behind her eyes, you can tell, she's still really suffering.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely awful. As she says, she's in agony. Her whole family's in agony. Still very few answers about what has happened to Nancy Guthrie. But, in terms of what has been happening with the investigation, and clearly there's still no arrest for a suspect. We haven't heard much in terms of developments in this case. What do you think the Cajun Navy could do that the Sheriff's Department has either not done or still needs help with outside of what you just laid out? I mean, there's been a lot of conversation and disappointment, both from local law enforcement and from the FBI, about the way this investigation has been handled from the beginning. Allegedly leads not followed up on, not enough search even directly behind the house. Neighbors who say that, they believe that this is going nowhere as a result of the media no longer really being in the neighborhood and pressuring the Sheriff's Department. So what kind of hope can you give those who are looking for answers, and especially to Savannah and her family?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to frame it in the context of a juxtaposition of what we would do versus the sheriff's office, because we're not privy to everything that they've done or what they may not have done. But like I said, we're very good at search and rescue. We have a lot of resources we could have brought to the area, other partner groups that we work with in the area or willing to come to the area and help us search. I think early on, when we were closer to the abduction date, it would have been a lot more beneficial. At this point, I mean, I hate to say it, but at this point, you'd just be looking for remains, which would be valuable to the family to be able to have that closure. But that for some reason, they just decided they were not going to take the outside help. So we just kind of went back to what we're doing. We're preparing for hurricane season 2026. And right now, we're at the tail end of tornado season 2026. So the Cajun Navy is doing Cajun Navy things.
So in terms of people who may be watching this who say, well, the Sheriff's Department, they're law enforcement professionals. Who is this group, the Cajun Navy, who thinks that they should come in and be involved here? Can you talk about your professionalism and the type of training you have with your volunteers?
Yeah, we put a lot of resources into training our volunteers, but also you have to understand that a lot of the tier one volunteers that we use in operations like this mostly are either current or former law enforcement or combat veterans, people who have a lot of experience in high trauma situations, high pressure situations. So it's not just, like a guy taking a week off of work that normally sells insurance, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not down on people that sell insurance. I'm just saying that people that don't have any experience at all, that's not the kind of people we would bring to this operation. Everybody that we had lined up has experience doing this and has been successful in the past helping us recover missing persons. So we have a pretty good track record, we believe, for being a civilian nonprofit organization. We're proud of our track record of finding people both alive and people that are no longer alive, but at least there's a recovery there.
Right.
And so we're always willing to help.
Thank you for watching.
What is his what I don't get what his possible reason. I was just thinking, I don't get what the logical reason that Nanos would have to really turn them down. Like, what would be the downfall of getting them involved? What is there to lose rather than, to gain? I just don't, I'm not understanding what that's going to affect by them coming out and conducting a search. Prior to this, I want to say this might be the third time, because prior to this, he did mention that, he would act like that never happened moving forward, that they would just come out and give them their service just as they would when they first offered that service to the sheriff department. So I'm just trying to, I from the moment I realized that he wasn't going to, let these guys come out and search, I still just can't quite figure out what it would be that, Nanos is, what is it? What possible, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And, it seems like the only thing that he's proven is the fact that he cares about public safety amongst the community. And that only revolved around us for the most part, as far as getting us out of the neighborhood. But pertaining to public safety, just in general, when it comes to Tucson itself, based on the areas that the Pima County Sheriff Department covers, he hasn't really shown us anything as far as him wanting to make any type of effort to try to bring some type of closure to this case whatsoever. Maybe some things are going on behind the scenes for all I know, and we just don't know about it. But I don't think so. And that is bothering. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure that bothers a lot of you guys, but I mean, that just really irks me. For there to be no efforts whatsoever, no care about what the community thinks, nothing at all. How do you show you have a huge concern, about this case alone, but make no moves whatsoever? And I think him coming out, or him letting the Cajun Navy come out and search, would also kill a lot of things in the air. I think that would help a lot of people who believe that Nancy's out there somewhere kind of draw back from thinking that so much. He stated that he believes that they're somewhere, or she could be somewhere, from pretty much in Mexico or near the border. So why not just kind of kill that whole situation? I mean, we already got people searching in Mexico, but I don't know if these people have searched near the border of Mexico. Heck, I don't even know if they're allowed to. But come on, man. Let these guys come out and search. Let's start narrowing things down. Period. What is up?
Subscribe below.
I haven't even looked it up, but I wonder how much longer this guy has before there's an actual another re-election, because I can't wait. I cannot wait. But at the same time, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we get another guy that's just like this guy. But I hope the sheriff's department makes a better choice, based on who they put up there, to be elected. Or, it's not even, I guess they don't really have control over that, but do something. Because this, I mean, we've been saying this for months. This guy's got to go. He's got to go. What is he doing? So KOLD sat down with him roughly about 4 days ago, I believe, and listen to what he said in this interview. And it seemed like he was, it didn't even seem like he wanted to take this interview. But I thought this was a good interview because there were actually some decent questions asked in this interview. But some of the questions that, whoever interviewed this person, I didn't even look to see who was the interviewer, they did not address certain questions that were asked. They kind of just moved on to, just get through this interview.
We'll get you in and out of here. We already kind of touched on this, but I've got to ask, is there anything at all new? Is there any movement or action right now in the case?
Well, there's always a lot going on with this case. Every day, our teams meet with.
I don't even like the way he laughed like that.
There's always
movement or action right now in the case.
Well,
is there any
like he didn't even know what to say
right now in the case?
Well,
what was that about? What was the chuckle about?
New, is there any movement or action right now in the case?
Well, there's always a lot going on with this case. Every day, our teams meet with the FBI. They're assigned to that task force. It's a task force of probably about 10 to 15 of our teams, and the FBI has dedicated workforces to it. But it's about sitting down at the table and talking, what do we have working today? And a lot of times it's maybe working with labs across the country on DNA. It may be working with maybe Google or somebody on our videos and what we can do with that. It could be working on a number of pieces. I think there's been a lot of talk about ransom notes. We're looking into that, and those are notes that we've been pretty consistent. You know, you divvy up the work, right? We took the DNA, we gave the ransom notes to the FBI. They look at those, and we every day come to the table and share the information and try to come up with some ideas what else we can do to get things going. But it's constant. This is every single day. This isn't, well, we don't have anything to do. No. And on top of all that, and that's where you all play a big role, we still need tips. We still want those non-emergency line, our 351-4900 or FBI tip line, because every piece of information that's out there could prove vital.
How does he even know that we still need tips? How does he even know what we need at all anymore? As far as we know, for all we know, the FBI may not even be communicating with this guy. We already know he doesn't like the FBI at all. He doesn't like feds in general. So how do we know he's even communicating with anybody in the FBI?
All the things we know, and we still need to know what you know, because there's something out there that we don't know. We think somebody knows something, so call us with whatever tip you might have. It really is, I can't stress this enough. Every piece of evidence, every single tip we have, they are worked, they are looked at very seriously, and nothing is dismissed. So don't think this is too small or this was too long ago. Call us.
Are you still getting quite a few tips?
You know, as you would expect, they have drastically gone down. I mean, the first few days we were just inundated with them, which helps. Now we have to catalog them, prioritize them, look through them. We still get tips day to day, but not the volume we were, but they're still
How do you know? The tips are going to the FBI, not really the sheriff department. So what are you talking about? So we know that was a lie. It clearly states where we leave those tips. It does not state to leave the tips with the sheriff department, the Pima County Sheriff Department. Although I'm not going to put that past people reaching out to them, to give them tips. I mean, there's still a source. One thing, and I don't want to change directions here and bring up another case, but one thing I realized with the little girl that went missing, Javea Harris, is, I was just watching how great, the sheriff department handled things out in South Carolina, and just slightly compared it to this situation, and just to see how well they handled things compared to this should be, a great example for Sheriff Nanos to do that. They set up pretty much like barricades in the neighborhood to stop people coming by, stop people, who came through the neighborhood to question them. So anybody rolling through and rolling by, the police department set up perimeters in certain areas, and they were questioning people, whether or not they seen this person missing or that person missing. Why didn't we do that? I mean, come on. I mean, this guy, he can't think of nothing that could be effective at all. It's too late now. I mean, it's never too late, but it's too late to do this. But in the beginning of time, he could have been by far way more effective. And I just thought this was really, really a good move and something to think about. So in the future, maybe the sheriff department will do things like this as example when it comes to somebody missing. And I just figured I'd share that with you guys because I thought that was great police work. I mean, I really can't even think of one thing he's done effectively to try to make an effort to, you know, bringing Nancy home? Nothing.
And we would never discourage that. Continue with that.
What kind of forensic evidence is still in the lab at this point?
Well, we've talked a lot about DNA. And I can't get into it real specific, but we have a lot of DNA that we're still working with the labs. And the labs are, you know, they've been incredible. It's not just our lab and FBI lab. These are labs across the country. And they understand way better than the sheriff DNA and concepts and new technology that's coming or that exists, and says, hey, you know, we have this DNA, but it's overlapped by 4 other people. Maybe I touch this pad and 3 of us touch that pad. We get DNA, but there's 4 that you got to separate. And it's that kind of conversation of from one lab to the other. How did you guys deal with this? How would you handle that? This, and then of course you've got genealogy, and those have a different set of rules, if you will, science behind it to say how they can work with all of that. So it's probably a lot more complex than that, but I just am assured daily that those labs, our teams, the FBI, are working on it constantly.
So the testing...
Well, meanwhile, just a quick question for Mr. No-No. What are you working on? Meanwhile, what are you working on amongst your team to bring some type of answers to this case?
It's still going on. It's not unusual that this would go on over month after month. It takes that long to kind of...
Absolutely. Especially when you throw in genealogy. Now you're trying to, hey, it's not the bad guy, but this person might be the bad guy's relative 3 times over. So it's a cousin, or it's a nephew, or it's a... And so that has to be broken down and looked at and seeing, is this somebody that should be of interest to us?
You mentioned the notes. Let's talk a little bit about, over the last week or so, there's been a flurry of reporting about notes. And a lot of it is very contradictory. So, and I realize that that's not necessarily your purview, but what is your take or your message about the notes?
So, first of all, when we, and your team, very responsible, very appreciative from not just me, but the community, the family, law enforcement, reacted very appropriately, immediately got a note, the first note, that said, hey, there's a ransom here. And you immediately called us in the FBI, and we got working on it. And now we've seen it go to, I think, other news outlets. Sometimes we get different notes. Look, I can't stress this enough. The FBI takes these notes extremely serious. They track them down, and if they find it to be fraudulent, they don't just put it aside. They will arrest you. They have made arrests. I think they made 2 or 3 arrests already from people who...
You know, I'm almost wondering if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing due to the fact that this guy's stuttering so much in this interview, and it's almost like he doesn't even know what to even say.
People, as it is, are exploiting Nancy Guthrie and the family by, even if they're playing a game, I don't know what mind that is, that says this is what I want to do. Don't do it. If you send a note, and whether it's fraudulent or otherwise, we're going to be looking at it very seriously, and you will be arrested. What we know is we have a number of notes that we are actively looking at and will continue to actively investigate. Even though this piece is given to the FBI, if they need our assistance at the Sheriff's Department, we're there. This is, you know, I think Director Patel said today, and he's absolutely correct, this is a local case, but we've always worked closely with our federal partners and our other local partners, and the FBI and us.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie right there. The fact that he brought up the fact that they... Listen to it again.
This is a local case, but we've always worked closely with our federal partners and our other local partners, and the FBI and us We have a task force. It didn't just start from this. It's been in existence.
Why is he lying? You can't lie anymore. I mean, you can't lie anymore. You've already lied so many times. What's the point of lying? How do you lie over a lie again? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. We already know you kept the FBI out for 4 days. So how are you going to sit down, express through an interview that you work closely with federal agents? That's silly.
Worked closely with our federal partners and our
This
other local
guy's-
partners, and the FBI.
I can't
and
listen
us,
to this guy
We
anymore.
have a task force. It didn't just start from this. It's been in existence for decades. We've always participated. We lean on each other for assistance, and we go beyond that. We go to other law enforcement agencies if we need their assistance with anything, not just here locally, across the state, DPS or others, to say, hey, could you do this for us? And it just goes without saying, everybody has stepped up. Nobody said, oh, we can't do that for you, Sheriff. They know across the nation, they know how important this case is.
I think our community definitely knows it too.
Absolutely.
I'm good if you want to get a cutaway or a two-shot, and we'll just, unless there's anything else you want to add, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that we're set for the update.
Yeah. You guys have anything? I know
And she's not addressing questions that she's asking him. I mean, she's just moving on. It's like they're trying to get through this interview or get him through the interview because he obviously is probably putting them on a time limit, and somebody's probably standing by, probably limiting some of these questions that's being asked. And for all we know, they're probably, they can probably only ask a certain amount of questions. So maybe this interviewer is not allowed to ask follow-up questions.
this is the 5-month mark.
Yes.
And our
Maybe.
thoughts are still and have been and will always be with the whole family. Guthrie family, I can't imagine, I don't even want to think about being in that place. Here you are 5 months later and you still have no answers. The best I could tell the family is we continue to work this.
I don't even want to think about how much you lacked helping them. You haven't even tried to help them. And the last time we heard, he hasn't even spoken, or he no longer speaks to the Guthrie family from what we've heard. And, there's obviously some things that I would love to address that I can't address at this time. But I don't, oh my goodness, this guy, he is killing me softly here.
The best I could tell the family is we continue to work this case. We're not giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it change anything about the way you do detective work in the future? Is there anything that has come of this that you can learn from or that is informative in any way?
Well, I learn a lot, but I'm saying for the investigative efforts and that, no, I think the teams learn from not just each other, but as they move through any investigation, you should be learning. Hey, maybe I could try this tactic or that tactic. But no.
I wonder what would happen if the family requested that the Cajun Navy come out and search. But that's what's is and not to throw the family under the bus, but that's what's kind of suspicious to me is, with certain people who are reaching out to help that could be very effective, for those like the Cajun Navy who could effectively help, why isn't the family demanding that these people come out and help? Why aren't they reaching out to the sheriff or maybe even the FBI? I mean, the FBI is not in charge. It's Sheriff Nanos who's in charge of this thing. So obviously he would have to say so, as far as the Cajun Navy coming out and, conducting these searches. However, You know, if it's me and, and I, just to put myself, which is very hard to do in the Guthrie family shoes, personally, I'm demanding, whatever possible help that's offered, whatever comes to mind, I'm demanding that. So that to me, it takes me, it kind of spins my head around a little bit when it comes to the family, because they should be, they should be saying something, and it would even help the public just to even hear, Annie and Tommaso come out and say, they're still, demanding, that they want help. They still want help. I think that would help out Savannah even more, because Savannah's the only one who's speaking out and begging for help. And throwing in Cameron as well. Cameron could also speak out and just simply ask for help. They can request certain things that revolve around getting help as well. They don't have to state anything besides the fact that they want more help. But those specific people have been the most quiet. And every single time we talk about this case, something isn't right every single time. Nothing adds up. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense at all. And I guess until we get more details based on what's really going on in this case, we just won't understand anything. It's quite frustrating. It really is. It's actually disturbing. Lori says he stopped search when kidnapping was declared. They think she was taken somewhere and help. Need warrants to search private property, and that needs probable cause, second crime scene. But, just in public areas, I think would be helpful, not just in places where they would have to, get some type of warrant to search specific areas. And I don't know if the Cajun Navy does things like that, if they're suspicious of a specific area, that they would try to go, get a judge to, get them some type of warrant to search a specific area. I guess it depends on the area, but I mean, I'm more so pertaining to somebody's home. Harold says, "You are right, Juice. I live in El Paso, and the Cajun Navy found many bodies of women." Is it Jares? Many bodies of women in Jares who were kidnapped off of buses. That's crazy. Ali, how you doing? Big welcomes, by the way. DJ, good to see you in chat. She says, "My biggest question is, what facts can we say we have? What can we say without allegedly?" Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think the biggest issue in this case, is the fact that people are saying things that aren't really a fact. People really act like they really know certain things, and I think it's just because of where they hear things. And, then everybody else starts to drink the same Kool-Aid, and next thing you know, we got all of these people saying this that's just not true. I mean, I don't know. This case has just been everywhere. Sandra says, "Sheriff had a press conference every day. He called in FBI, K9, and many other agencies. And Atkin is pronounced like Atchin. Is it Atchin? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce the actual name of the city in South Carolina." Harold says, "Taylor Swift has over 60 million subscribers on her YouTube channel. Can you imagine all the money she is making from YouTube?" What does Taylor Swift have to do with nanos? My goodness. What are you thinking about Taylor Swift right now? Oh Lord. Uh, I didn't catch all of the interview, Rube. No, I watched a little bit of it. But they watched this interview, and they really had some good things to say in regards to Mr. Nanos there. So, and I kind of wanted to watch some of it tonight, but maybe I won't. Somebody said we have no audio. Well, if you can't hear me, unfortunately, you'd have to exit and come back. And somebody will have to tell you that in chat. Well, if you, yeah, I just checked the sound. We're locked in. We're good. He doesn't know how to be honest. I mean, he doesn't know how to be honest, and he doesn't know how to take accountability. I think at this point, I mean, he's already trapped himself, and he's developed this image that we can clearly all see at this point. And I think the right thing to do was just simply to take accountability and just do his best. There's nothing else that he could do moving forward besides that. Nothing. Maybe we will catch a little bit of the interview room. Is Criminal Network still on right now? I don't know if he's still live. See if he's still going at it. Yeah, I think he's still live right now. Shouts Criminal Network, man. Good to see him on live right now. Hope he's doing all right. Meant to call him the other day. I think we'll open up the phone lines for just a little bit tonight. Like I said, guys, I won't be on too long tonight. I really gotta make some flyers as soon as possible. I want to get out here. This case has just been getting more and more frustrating as time has gone on. And just one more thing to add. With the ransom notes. Nonetheless, the ransom notes have been quite confusing. I know everybody's probably been back and forth with those. For me personally, I'm not a big believer when it comes to the ransom notes. And we know, February 2nd, one of the ransom notes has stated that, we have Nancy, and then they demanded the Bitcoin, or to send millions of Bitcoin, and it also mentioned something about her being safe. And then there were some things that were described within that Bitcoin that I think made people feel like those ransom notes were legitimate. One of them was the Apple Watch. I think the other was the floodlight. And that was pretty much it from what I can remember. And then February 6th came. And this second one, really didn't have anything to do with money. It was really saying that, Nancy was pretty much gone. So at that point, to me, it wasn't even a ransom. And I think that was the one that they were pertaining to in regards to Nancy being buried in nature. That, she wasn't supposed to die. It wasn't meant for that. And they claimed that, pretty much that she died shortly after the abduction, and they had offered to return her body for ransom at that point. So for the most part, in that second note, I believe they were apologizing for the most part. And then late, you know, just recently, somebody, sends a note stating that they know the kidnappers, and they have some footage of the main guy demanding like $60,000 in Bitcoin, just for pretty much someone to pay for, you know, that information as far as who actually did this or who Porch Guy is. I mean, for the ransom thing, I really could care less about the ransom thing anymore. Because all it is just causing a distraction to this case, and it's just not really helping us stick to the facts here. And I think somebody's got to get their stuff together, and I don't know who that is. I guess that would be the FBI. For whatever reason, they're having trouble tracking the same IP address that was used in the first note. And that's frustrating. But I think we really believe in the FBI a little too much based on what they have. But I don't think that the FBI can, do all that we think. And I get it. They do have a lot of great sources when it comes to digging up information and pulling things off, like perhaps that Ring camera footage or Nest camera footage. But they can't do everything. Sometimes they can't pull it off. And that's what makes me question whether or not this person, maybe in law enforcement or, is very smart, because he's yet to get caught. I want to go back just real quick to talk a little bit about Savannah as well. Remember when Savannah, she asked Cameron if they took Nancy because of her, and Cameron pretty much said yeah, and he was the one who said that he thought that this was a kidnapping. I kind of lost my thought here. I think that Savannah truly made somebody angry in the past to the point where they wanted to get back at her. And the only reason why I think that is because who else, like, what other better way could they, go about this specific situation to inflict pain on somebody? And I say this because I can't think of anybody that we know that revolves around the Guthrie family that would really be vulnerable, who lives alone, and would be easy to hurt or take, because that's what happened in this situation. But I think this person clearly, wanted to take something away from either specifically Savannah or the Guthrie family in general. And one other thing I want to mention is I find it difficult for me to ignore the political side of this as well, because you got to remember, Savannah is, she's not a politician, but she's involved in broadcasts as far as, her journalist side of things. So you can't really ignore that until we really figure out all of this and we get to the bottom of it. But she has done or played roles in covering, I would say, many, political events. And she's interviewed many, political figures. So it's really hard to look past that side of things. You know, she's interviewed Trump, you know, she's interviewed, you know, Barack Obama, who else? Clinton. You know, she's interviewed many people. And nonetheless, she's also interviewed several survivors when it comes to the Epstein. So I still don't look past those situations being possible. And once you go through that neighborhood, you'll really start to understand more that Nancy's house wasn't just picked. You don't just pick a house in the middle of the neighborhood. This house wasn't just, you know, at the start of the neighborhood. It's literally you going through a whole maze, you know, to get all the way to Nancy's house. So you can't look past those things. Whether or not, you know, she made it home that night, it's still in question. Personally, I have to say I think she made it home that night, but it's still in question. One of the things that I did catch that the interview room did bring up, and I think it was Dr. Bucato who said that them picking a full moon night had to mean something. You know, it had to mean something. But a lot of times I find myself overthinking stuff, and I don't want to overthink things, you know. But whoever this was had to be super duperly smart to, you know, think of that. I mean, who thinks of that? For me, I'm just like, I don't know. To me, it's like, are you overthinking this a little bit? Because I don't think that I'm thinking about, you know, abducting someone on a night where it's a full moon. Unless, you know, I'm from that neighborhood. Other than that, I don't think that's going to come to mind for me. And, you know, I say to myself, you know what, this will be the perfect night because it's a full moon. And I guess a good reason would be, well, I could see a little bit better at night. I'm not buying that. I don't really, for me personally, I just think it just happened on that night. You know, I don't think it was intentional, but I could be wrong. And I know a lot of you guys would probably argue that they chose this specific night for a reason. I want to make sure we didn't cut out here because I feel like I'm spinning here, so I don't know if we're still good service-wise. I'm just trying to make sure here. And I'm trying to pull up the phone lines here as well. But I'm having some trouble getting to the phone lines here. Here we go. Scared me for a second. All right, so I'm gonna post this number up here. Of course, feel free to chime in. Let's take some calls here before it gets way too late here. I do gotta work, so let's take some calls. I didn't even post the number yet. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't even expect this to happen. Actually, it's kind of slow for me tonight. This is the Juice. How you doing, April?
Hey, it's April.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Hey, I didn't know you were going to pick up. I just heard you saying, you know, you're having some problems with the phone line.
No, I was having trouble pulling it up because I was like buffering a little bit where I was, I guess, spinning. I guess it wasn't really loading. But we're
Okay,
good.
hey.
We're good now.
You know, I'm not going to take too much of your time. But when this first happened, and I heard about this Sunday night the 1st, I read about it in bed, that the 84-year-old mom of Savannah Guthrie was a missing person. They didn't say kidnapped, abducted, unalive. They said a missing person. And the first thing I shouted out of my bed was, oh my God, she's been kidnapped. And the reason I said that was because as a PI and working with celebrity cases and seeing celebrity kidnappings and threat of kidnappings, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Oh my God, she was targeted because she's the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie. And that's before I knew who she was, before I knew where she lived, before I knew that neighborhood, before I met viewers who say they live in that neighborhood, before I met people who say they know Savannah. That's the first thing I said. And then all the facts started to come out about this case, the little, breadcrumbs that they're feeding us. And I was like, oh my God, this is not a typical kidnapping at all. Kidnappings don't work this way. People don't spend 41 minutes in a house. People leave ransoms at the scene of the crime. There was a kidnapping in my immediate family, the juice, before I was actually born, a couple decades before I was born. So besides my work, I had this in my own immediate family before I was born. It's for ransom. And you take the person and you get the ransom to the family immediately. You keep the person alive. You conduct a business transaction, and it's over. Nothing about this is like that. Nothing. And it's not a burglary. It's not a robbery. It's not a home invasion gone wrong. It's not, they were trying to go to the gym guy next door and they got the wrong house.
Yeah.
No, this was planned. This was surveilled. This was targeted. I got a viewer that lives 2 blocks from her in this neighborhood, whose husband used to work with Savannah way back early in their careers. She said, it's a maze. You just said that. It's a maze. It's pitch dark. You can't see 3 feet in front of you. Okay? Somebody had to know the intimate details of the house, the security systems or the lack thereof, the cameras, the placement of the cameras, the gates, the doors, the screens, where her bedroom was. She didn't have her hearing aids on if she was in bed. They had to know exactly where to go to drag her out of her bed. Savannah said she was dragged out of her bed. There's oxygenated blood that's been aspirated at the front door. They definitely brought her home. I think she was definitely in the house. She was definitely dragged out of her bed. But I don't think this was just, hey, a kidnapping for ransom. These notes are either fake or they're red herrings written by someone with knowledge of the crime. Okay, now I'm going to get off the podium.
Oh, you're all right. You're all right. You're fine. I was going to ask you,
I'm so upset.
I know.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep because I'm not thinking about this case for 156 days.
Yeah, and it's like as time continues to go by, you just find yourself more frustrated. I was gonna ask, what do you take from, the family not speaking out, like specifically, A&T and Cameron? Do you think it would be helpful
It's
if
not
they
right. I'm not naming anybody guilty, but I have interviewed thousands of witnesses. I've probably worked 8,000 to 10,000 cases in my career. When something like this happens, you are begging for people to help you. Oh my God, find my mother. You're not coming out in your car with a hoodie over your head and your hands in front of your face, ducking from the cameras, like you're acting like you are deceitful or deception. What's the word? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It shows deception and shame. Now, I'm not saying that they're involved because I don't know if they are or they are not. But you don't just disappear. Where are they? Are they in a hotel? Are they at a friend's house? Did they go to Italy? What's going on? The police and the FBI spent more time, as far as the CSI units, at the daughter's house than they did at the house where the scene of the crime is.
Yeah.
If you're a sheriff, you don't release a scene, especially the first day when the first officers, the deputies came out and went, there's something more than a missing person here, and they called homicide detectives. How in the heck was that scene released within the first 20 to 30 hours before a lot of evidence was even discovered, before the FBI came into it? The sheriff doesn't do that. What sheriff gets on national television and says, oh, we're no longer talking to the family? what?
And how long do they plan on staying live freely again like they did before? I mean, I don't get the gist of it.
Who's
You
paying
know,
their bills? Who's paying the mortgage? I mean, I know Savannah, she's probably taking care of, mom's bills while all this is going on.
good
Because
question.
everything is in limbo. She hasn't been declared dead. You know, her whole, everything is in limbo right now. And then today, Savannah posts a picture on her Instagram and she's at the World Cup with her husband and her co-host
Really?
and his wife. And she's all smiling. And I was like, what? I mean, I understand that she's contractually obligated to go on to the Today Show, but NBC did say, hey, we're going to give her as much space as she needs, yada, yada, yada. But she was out in public. And they were, and her husband took this selfie. And I'm like, it's like, has she moved on? Like, no, there's not been a peep out of Cameron. Annie Tommaso, they're just gone. And when this first happened, they were like, "Oh, don't look at me!" You know what I'm talking about. People don't act like that. They would be going, "Find my mother, help me." They would be knocking on every door, handing out flyers. Why isn't the Cajun Navy coming? Why are we not? Nobody was even looking for her.
That's so
Like,
sad.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm
There's
confused myself.
so many red flags. But then we go down all these rabbit holes, and you just named some of them before I came on the air to talk to you. And, I've gone down those same rabbit holes, but then I go back to the beginning. I go back to square one, and I go, this is not as complicated as we're making it out to be. Number one, the Savannah Guthrie factor. It's connected to Savannah, her fame and her money, or revenge. Or number two, somebody close to her. 75 to 92% of people that are abducted, it happens by either a family member, a close friend, a neighbor, a worker at the house, could be even somebody who lived in her casita at one time, or someone connected to them. This is not just some random person who said, I'm going to go pick that house and see what happens and roll the dice.
I agree.
Absolutely
100%.
not. It's one or the other, and it could be a little bit of both. Because if it is someone that's closely connected, they thought, well, maybe I could get some money out of Savannah.
Yep.
But why? Stay in the house for 41 minutes. You go in there and you take her. And then the guy that wrote the phony ransom notes or the text ransoms, he sent the text ransoms. Not anywhere in those texts did he tell Annie and Tommaso where to send the money. Like, hey, how about my Bitcoin? I'm waiting to complete the transaction. But he didn't mention Nancy. He didn't mention a kidnapping. He didn't say, hey, this is where you send my Bitcoin. Don't you find that's a little strange?
Good point. Good point.
And people have read the complaint and said, no, that's all he said. Like, hey, how about my Bitcoin? It was as if he already knew the people that he was texting. And like I said, I'm not pointing the finger at them because personally, I don't know if they are or they are not involved. I do have very strong suspicions as to who is at the door and who may be the getaway driver. I've already contacted the FBI twice by phone. I've sent an 8-page letter, talked to actually someone in my industry out in California who's a former retired FBI agent, and he said, your best bet is to write a letter. Maybe you'll have a better chance. There's no guarantee. Never heard back from anybody. I still think there's a certain group of people connected to this, but I do think they're probably worker bees or goons, working for somebody else. I could be totally wrong. I don't believe in the lone man, lone wolf theory at all. And, even the FBI agent said, well, it could just be one guy, and sometimes people get lucky. And I was like, in this case, I don't think so. I think someone has intimate knowledge. There's definitely more than one. Why are they not solving this? Why is the sheriff not? He was given all these press conferences. Now he's talking to nobody except that radio station last weekend or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Like, I'm not even talking to the family.
they're not pushing the envelope here. They're not pushing it at all. So if they're not pushing, nothing's happening. And I think that's one thing they mentioned in the interview room was they should start making an arrest when the cuffs are on. People start talking, and I think that
Yeah.
they should start making arrests. But nothing's happening. I mean, it seems like they're more interested. Oh, I think I lost her. Can you hear me? We still live chat? I think I'm back, but I don't know what happened to her. I'll call her back here. I don't know why my internet. It's okay though, because I'm gonna have.
Hey.
Hey, I'm sorry. I think I lost you. It's all right, because when I move, I'm moving pretty soon here. I'll have better internet, so this won't.
Oh,
be
okay.
happening
Yeah, I
too
think
much
your
more
internet
often.
cut out or something.
I only
And
gotta deal with this for one more week.
Yeah, I thought you were moving before, but
No.
did you move to push back? Oh, okay. Yeah, because I knew it was like kind of coinciding with your case, and it was like, oh boy,
No, it actually got pushed more. It's actually sooner now than later. So actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
cool.
But,
well, yeah, just I know I say the same thing. Like I tell my viewers, like I could talk till I'm blue in the face, and I always say everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty. I'm not pointing the fingers at anybody, but by about the second week, I had a pretty good idea who I think might be behind the mask. If I'm wrong, I still think he's somehow involved. I don't think he did it by himself. I think there had to be at least two at the scene. You know, it's not like one of my viewers said, it's not like they took her out of the house and said, stay right here, Nancy, while I go get the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. What gets me is I don't know. Like, let's just say, for instance, it is the family. You know, what are they waiting for? That's going to change, months from now if they were to come forward. Do they think like there's going to be less media attention a year from now? Like what's really going to change? Are they spending, maybe they're spending their last days with the family and then they're finally going to, I don't know what to expect anymore. And I'm not saying it's the family. I'm just saying what would be the holdup, if that were the case?
Well, I think there's probably a security issue because there's been polls and people that have been following this case, especially the internet detectives, the YouTube detectives, it seems like 80 to 85% of the population somehow thinks that the family may be involved. And if that's true, and I'm telling you right now, because, now they are famous themselves because of this case, they probably have been harassed or threatened. They have to, and it may not be like, oh, we're running and we're hiding, although it sure looks like it when you're putting the hoodie over your head and covering your face, like, don't look at me. I would be jumping out of that car and running towards those news cameras saying, please help me find my mother. And I wouldn't leave town. They live 10 minutes away. I would be there every single day. I'd be at that sheriff's station. Why aren't you doing anything? And you know what? A lot of times in my, or not a lot, but several times in my career, I worked cases where the LAPD, when they couldn't do anything, and then the feds, specifically the FBI got called in, they couldn't do anything. Then you call the experts. Then you call the PIs. I don't know if there's any PIs working this. I don't, somebody has to do something because the FBI should have made a move by now. And now when they made that statement the other day about the ransoms where they had to like clear everything up and they put a written statement out in the press, they said that the sheriff's department is still the lead agency in this case. And when I read that, I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, oh, we're so screwed. Because for whatever reason, I don't know if Nanos has a relationship with somebody, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, for some reason, he doesn't want this solved. And when he talks to the press and he's like, oh, he's so calm and, oh, we're working on, I don't believe that. He's probably out fishing or playing golf, like, he was at basketball games the first week this happened. Like, what's going on? Like, there's something wrong with this case. There's been something wrong since day one. And I just want her found.
Me too. I couldn't agree more. Somebody just sent me a message. I was trying to figure out who it was. It says, do you find it odd that when people say the family, they're usually referring to A&T. They refer to Savannah by her name. That's a good question. That's a good question. But I feel like when a lot of people are referring to the family, they're specifically referring to A&T. But I mean, there's not too many other people in the family to refer to besides those two and, Savannah and Cameron. Other than that, we don't really know of many other family members.
Well, Cameron was in Vermont and Savannah was in New York. And the family who were the last people to see her, well, supposedly, the last person that we know for real saw her last was the female Uber driver, because they interviewed her and they've got video of her in that Uber. Yeah. Okay. But we have no proof that she, what happened after she got to that house. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, no, they took her out and they set the whole thing up. Like, no, she came home because there's no way to get aspirated blood. If that really is aspirated blood droplets, that happened. She was there. Now, I'd love to know, was there blood on the other side of that door? What type of physical evidence was in the house? Does she have a safe? Did it look like somebody tried to open it? But they said the house was immaculate. Yeah, what's in it? Yeah. Well, this is an 84-year-old woman who was very immobile. She could walk with a cane, but some days her pain was so bad. Savannah said she couldn't make it from the front door to the mailbox. Yeah. How does an 84-year-old woman keep the house that nice? I mean, apparently she did have a housekeeper, but I don't know if she was there every day. She obviously didn't have a caregiver that lived in the house. Why didn't she have a Nest subscription? Someone's now saying she did, and it lapsed. I still want to know about the second mortgage that was taken out in 2017. There could be a logical explanation. If I were the FBI, I would have all the forensic accountants looking at everybody closest to her. But you either have to rule them in or rule them out within the first couple of days to a week, and then you spread the net, and then you start looking for her. Nobody's looking for her. Where are the cadaver dogs? Where are the searchers?
Yeah. And besides, I feel like, because I was saying that I think, it's meant to inflict pain. Who else would they really would have, went after if that was the intent, was to inflict pain? I think the one and only person is Nancy. I mean, other than that, it would have been far much more difficult for somebody to go in that home and, remove somebody like Annie. Because I know Chris brought it up and said, he mentioned Savannah and Annie are both beautiful women. Why not them two? Well, they're surrounded by men. So I think it would be much more difficult for somebody to go in their home and do that. Not only that, they have children living with them.
They have children. They have security. Now, I wouldn't say Annie and Tommaso, but you don't realize how much a celebrity has security, and not just their own, but she has security provided by NBC. And those kids are so guarded. If you wanted to hurt Savannah, it'd be very hard to get to her husband, or her kids. But there's her mom, 84 years old, living in that big house out in the desert. You would think, oh, that's an easy mark. But then when you see where that house is and how big of a neighborhood that is, and the house size, and that security screen across the front door, and the maze and the darkness, and, like, somebody, whoever's involved, has intimate knowledge. And it may not be the goons that came, because the porch guy to me doesn't look that sophisticated. He really doesn't. I just don't think it's a sophisticated front porch guy. And he's been there before, if we're to believe what's on the video footage. Now, the FBI agent I consulted with said there's probably a lot more video that they have that they're just not showing to the public. They just showed us little teeny clips because they wanted people to see, like, do you recognize this guy?
Yeah, and
And it's
also
really
I
suspicious.
don't feel like this is
Go ahead.
luck anymore. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't feel like this is luck
No, no.
anymore. You know, I think a lot of people question whether or not this was luck, you know, as far as this person getting away with this long. I just truly think this person knew exactly what they were doing. I don't think that they
Okay.
were an amateur in any way. And I don't know if you think
Okay.
that, but I just to throw that out there, I think that this was well planned. You know, I just think that's just what I think, you know. I don't.
Well, I'm still on the side of the coin that it's shoddy police work.
You said, say it again?
There's the flip side of that coin, that they were amateurs and it was shoddy police work. That scene was
Interesting.
compromised within the first day. It's kind of like
That's
the
a
John
good
Benet
point.
Ramsey case 30 years ago. They had narcotics detectives. They
That's a
didn't have
really
any
good way to look
homicides
at it.
in Boulder at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Then someone who was probably involved about 6 weeks later was found deceased on that case, and the police ruled it a suicide. It was not a suicide. Somebody silenced that person, and that got botched. And it's like, it's 30 years later. They can never recover from the crime scene was botched the first day by Detective Linda Arndt. You know, you can't recover from mistakes like that. These are big mistakes. And then you throw in everything with the red flags. It's just, you know, last week I was hopeful they probably have somebody in mind, but they just, you know, they need to wrap this up in a nice little package with a neat little bow on top for the DA. But now I'm getting negative again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe they don't have anything. Like, you know, this is just, what is going on? I'm losing my mind to just, oh my God. Like, I'm losing I can't sleep over this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm glad I met all the people that have come to my channel. I'm glad I met you. You know, I love watching you guys, the boots on the ground, because I can't be there. So I admire you guys. But, like, you know, it's July.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, what's going on?
155
Why are
days.
they not looking for Nancy Guthrie?
And have they even really been looking? Have they even been looking?
I
Really?
know. And then there's dissension in the FBI amongst the agents involved in this case as to what's real, what's fake. You know, they can't even, they're not on the same page with one another.
Criminal Network, good to see you, my guy.
And then you got to deal with this sheriff's department that apparently is ruled by a possibly, I can't say for sure, but he could possibly be not straight as far as corruption. I don't want to say that word, but something's not right. I wanted to give the guy the benefit of the doubt the first week or so.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, I can't give this guy the benefit of the doubt anymore. And then, you know, he's too politically connected to people in Tucson.
Yeah, he is. So have you
And
been
so is
able
his
to
wife.
narrow it down, you know, because I find it difficult for me to narrow it down to one or two people or possibly three perps that may be involved in this. You know, I'm right now
I've got two people in mind.
Yeah, okay.
As far as the boots on the ground, meaning the goons.
I don't know why I'm back down to one. I mean, that's where I was at in the beginning, and then I was at two. But for whatever reason,
You
I'm
could
back
be
to
right.
one.
You know, nobody has ratted anybody out yet. Nobody has collected the $1.2 million.
Exactly.
How does that happen?
Exactly.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. You know, what is it, 3 in the morning? 4? I don't even know what time it is now. Like, I'm so emotional over this. Some days I just want to pull my hair out and just cry. Like, you know, like, and I don't even know Nancy. But I feel like I know that whole family
Criminal
now.
Network says before you know it, it's going to be August. Before you know it, it's going to be
And then
December.
to see Savannah at the
My
World Cup, I'm
goodness.
like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God. And her husband's taking a selfie, like, with
Yeah.
this dumbass look on his face. Excuse me, I didn't mean to curse on your show, but
No, you're good. You're good.
just like, what are you doing? Looking like a jerk, you know? Like, what is going on? That just totally threw me. Totally threw me that they were out. She wasn't like at an event for NBC that she was working. They were just like sitting in the audience, in the stands.
Wow, I had no idea Savannah went out to the soccer game. I because I don't, I personally don't follow her, and I really don't actively check her Instagram. I did in the beginning of time, but now I really don't pay much of mind to it. I've heard she's deleted some stuff, but I went and checked, and everything appears to be there that I saw before.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know what's really going on her her Instagram, but I guess I can't really put her under the bus for going to a game.
I know.
Just because,
I was just so surprised.
yeah, and I
I love Savannah. I adore Savannah.
Yeah, and I don't know what wishes Nancy has for her children. Meaning, if she passes away, what she wants her children to do. Like, some parents are big believers in, just go on, live your life. Don't sit here and dwell on me. I don't know if she's living her life in that way and moving on like that. I don't know. So that's the only reason why I don't. It's bothering, but then it's not. So I don't know.
She'd probably be saying, don't worry about me, and you got to go on with your life, and you got to go on for the sake of the grandchildren, and that's probably what she would say.
Yeah.
When her husband died, she moved her mother and her handicapped brother with Down syndrome into her home. So now she's a widow with 3 children. Apparently Cameron was just about the age that he was leaving or had left, but still had the 2 daughters at home, brought her mother there, brought a handicapped brother there. I guess they lived there for years, got a job, eventually worked full time, had a full career, has her friends, go out, she goes out to game night, she gets together with her grandkids, she still drives, she's just kept marching forward. And to have lived 84 years and to have it end like this. And I know the guilt that Savannah must feel when it's not her fault. It's not her fault. And I hope that she never feels like, I think she does feel like it is, because she asked her brother right away, like, you think it's because of me? And she was crying, and he said, yes, sweetie. And he was thinking that too, because that's the first thing I said. Even when they just said she was a missing senior, like she'd walked out of her house. I was like, oh, no. She's the mother of Savannah Guthrie. Oh, my God, she's been kidnapped. I just, as a PI, I was like, oh, no. And that's before I knew where she lived or what the neighborhood looked like, what the house looked like, how dark it is, before I knew about Front Porch Guy, and then all this stuff started coming in, and I'm like, well, now I'm not so sure it's a kidnapping, because this doesn't sound like it. But I still do think the bottom line, no matter if it's an outsider or somebody close, it's all about money. There is definitely money involved here, unless it's just some weird, stalker, psycho, lone wolf guy who's like, I can't get to Savannah, so I'm gonna get to her. Because I used to work for somebody who's like super enormously famous. He was a billionaire. He's still alive. Everybody would know who he is, but I'm not going to say his name. And everybody was like always like going to his mother's business, because that's as close as they could get to him. And for years, he like wanted his mother to close that business and take care of her. He had billions. Like, mother, you don't have to work. She was in her 70s, in her 80s. She was still working at that business. Like, no, this is my job and this is my life. And they had to have security there all the time, because she was always being targeted, because she was the mom of this famous person. It happens. It happens every day. These people are under threats. So But then when you hear all these things about these rumors about people in Tucson and the family and the red flags, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I probably sound like an intoxicated person, and I don't even drink, you know. Like, you know, after cancer, you know, like I've always been like clean and sober. Like, but this is making me crazy. This is giving me nightmares at night.
Yeah, no,
I've got
you
more
don't sound drunk
security.
at all. You're speaking the truth in my opinion. I mean, it's
You-
I,
I've got extra security cameras in my home now,
yeah,
just because. Like,
yeah,
because there's some mass person going to come in the middle of the night and
yep,
grab me out of my bed.
yeah. And this
You
is what
know?
this case has done to a lot of us. It's traumatized us. It's made us overthink, and you know, it's also a reminder to, you know, make sure you keep yourself safe at all times, because you never know what could happen to you. You know, it could be you next, you, for all you know. And this guy's still out there. He's still out there. He hasn't been caught.
Oh,
So
I've been thinking about that a lot this week. That person or people is still out there, and we still don't know the reason why. We don't know the motive, you know. And I've always thought that the reason that Savannah's sister and brother-in-law disappeared was a security issue. I don't necessarily think that they just ran like, oh, we better go hide, or, you know, like people are looking at us, or I really think that they're probably being threatened.
yeah.
It's like this is big. That we don't know if
Criminal Network says that
somebody else
Nancy
is going to
has
be
not had
next.
a funeral. Will she ever?
I
Does she
think
go
I
unsolved
think they're in
forever?
hiding
Why no
for their
urgency by the
safety
Guthrie family on finding
more
Nancy?
than,
I
they're in
agree,
hiding because they know something
100%.
about this. Like,
Who
I mean,
knows?
they could.
Good questions.
Everybody is a suspect, in my opinion, until this case is solved. I hope for Savannah's sake and the children's sake, even their child's sake, that they're not involved. But I do think it's a security issue where, I mean, nobody's even seen them in town. Nobody's seen their car. Somebody would figure it out sooner or later where they are if they were there.
Well, somebody's
They're
got to be
probably not even
driving.
in the country.
Somebody's driving their car, because I was there like about last month. And you know what? Now, from now, actually, I'm gonna start driving by there just to see if I see any Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, I'm not. I'm not driving by there. But anyway, a month,
Okay.
a month ago, about maybe a
Don't you do
month and a half.
that.
Yeah, a month or a month and a half ago, I was driving by Annie and Tommaso's, and their car was not there. And then a week after that, I drove by, and then their car was outside. So I don't
Oh,
know if somebody's driving their car, or they're, you know, still actively using that car. I don't know, but if they are, they're still in the same vehicle they were last seen in when, you know, all of the FBI was at their
okay.
house. So I don't know. I don't know. They might still be here. I got a really good feeling they're still here. I don't think
Oh,
that
really?
they're. I do. I
I
don't think
thought
that
they
they're out of the
were, but
country.
now I completely done a 180 on it, and I'm like, oh, they're probably in Italy or someplace. Like, something's not right.
Yeah, no,
Something's, you know, like,
I think they're still here.
okay.
You know,
See,
I
you
don't
know,
know, though.
depending on what mood you're in, we flip flop. You know,
It's
because I'll go down these dark rabbit holes. You know, sometimes on my lives, and I'll be like, well, you know, maybe, and then I go, no, everybody just go back to square one. It's either this or it's that, or it's a combination of the two. End of story.
This case
You
is
know, like,
hard.
but where is she? I need her to be found. I need the perps to be found. And you know, the FBI agent said it would still be pretty easy to prosecute even without a body. And he said the longer that it goes,
I
and
heard
he's not
that.
working the case, but he said the longer it goes, there's more of a chance that they would find the perp before they would ever find her, and that they may have to do one of these prosecutions of putting people away without a body. And that made me really sad, because he's like, the longer it goes, the less of a chance of actually recovering any remains.
Next week, you know, we might have, you know, a whole completely different theory for all we know. I mean, I can't I can't even count the amount of times my theory has changed. You know, it's been. I mean, it hasn't completely changed, but there's been several things throughout my theories that I've had. You know, that I had to go back and rethink things, change it, go
Yeah, but
back, and I don't know.
I think you and I are kind of on the same wavelength about there's a big question mark as to what this really is.
For sure. And I think it's more simple than, like you were saying, I think it's more simple than what a lot of us are making it, for sure.
Like I said, it's the best thing I could compare it to is the cluster F. I'm not going to say the words, but the cluster F of the John Benet Ramsey case. And this December 25th, 26th is the 30th anniversary of that. You know, I won't even be around 30 years from now to be talking about this. You will, because you're a young man. You have your whole life ahead of you.
Don't say that. You'll still be here. My goodness.
I'm old now. I can't believe I lived this long. Even with everything I've been through, stage 3 cancer and, you know, heart side effects, like, how the heck am I still here? And then I think, you know, there's a reason I'm still here. And then, you know, my YouTube channel started to grow a little bit. It's still like nothing compared to you, but it's like I've met all these wonderful people that come in that want to see me and talk to me like every day. And I met you. You know, I would have never met you. You know, I'm trying to look at the positive in all of this, but I just feel like I almost feel responsible. Like I want to be the one to solve this, and I'm not even working the case. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do to fix this? What can I do to help Savannah? Like, you know, how can we find Nancy? How can we find the bad guys who did this? How can we have them put away? And I know all you guys, boots on the ground, you feel in the same way. You're so vested in this now.
Yeah. It's a unique case. It's a very unique case. It's very interesting. It's a never-ending case, it seems like. And I hate to say that because I hope it comes to an end, but I mean, it seems like this is one of those cases that are just never-ending, forever rabbit holes. You know, when are we going to really get something? It seems like we haven't.
Well, I appreciate you. I really enjoy your channel. I don't get a chance to watch many of the other YouTubers because I'm so busy putting out my next videos. But I always, whenever I see you go on live, you know, even though I'm losing sleep, I'm like, I gotta go on. Like, or I gotta talk to you, or I gotta listen to you, or I gotta, you know, be in your chat and engage with your viewers. And, you know, I've met so many people that came from your chat over to my chat, you know, like, and I tell everybody when I'm on the air, some people have asked me, like, who's the Juice? And I'm like, oh, this is who he is. And you need to go subscribe to him, and you need to go watch his videos. And, you know, like, so I'm helping push people your way, even though my channel is so wee small compared to yours.
Oh, stop. I mean, growth takes time, and my channel's actually slowed down a bit. So, I mean, we both got a lot of work to do, and I appreciate you spending time, and not only in chat, but spending time to come talk to me and continuing to share your love and support. It's a blessing, and I appreciate it.
Well, good luck with your move, and I'll keep listening to you whenever I can. And let's just, you know, hashtag justice for Nancy.
Indeed, justice for Nancy. Bring Nancy home. I agree.
Absolutely.
Well, much love to you. Good talking with you, April.
Love you, man.
All right, love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Well, shouts April. I appreciate her calling in and always chatting with me. And it's always a good conversation. So much love to her. What happened on Patriot Pride? What's going on? What happened? What did we miss on Patriot Pride today? My goodness, what happened? My goodness, guys, do we need to chime in real quick to see what happened over there? I mean, he was like, I was watching too, but I turned it off right before this part. And he was like, I mean, Juice, I don't think you want to stick around and see this. And I was like, well, what? What's about to happen? You know, lo and behold, I just came to mind and I was like, you know what? Let me go look. Maybe it was something, you know, that they had interesting to bring up in regards to the case. And lo and behold, it was everything but that.
There he is,
Oh,
guys.
Lord,
There
have
he
mercy.
is.
South
What's up,
Patriot
everybody?
Pride.
Magic Mike is on stage, guys.
Oh, man.
He is a man of his word. So, hey.
I got my pink Speedos on.
Hey,
Oh,
I
God.
hope everybody
I know he did not
is
just touch the
liking
panties
Magic.
like that. Please don't do that ever again. Come on, Mike. Oh, Lord. Oh, I think I needed this one tonight.
Mike
man.
tonight,
Oh,
guys. So we got a timer for 5 minutes. So he is
I've
a
been
man.
in it this for like 20. What you doing?
He's a man of his word, guys. So so we hope everybody enjoys the show tonight. And if you didn't enjoy the show, I'm sure you're enjoying this show.
Oh, that thing kind of tight.
So stand up, Mike, and give him a little show, man.
Oh, don't do it, Mike. Oh,
Mike, look
Lord
at this
have
guy.
mercy.
Look at this guy. Unbelievable. Magic Mike,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Magic Mike. Everybody was saying, stand up. There you go. Hey, you guys got it. So, here we are. So, Mike, how do you feel?
Hot.
You're hot. You're hot.
My glasses are fogging up.
I didn't think that you were that buff, man.
Mike,
Right?
please sit down.
It's amazing what
You've been working
that
out?
hoodie covers up.
Have you been working out?
I used to a long time ago.
Man,
Oh, man.
Kelly says stand up and turn around.
Yo, it's really getting hot in here, bro.
We got,
oh, my God.
who is this? Let me. The chats are going crazy for you, Mike. Liberty and Justice for All says, great job, Mike, for keeping it funny and clean. Thank you, guys. Congrats. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I think I got the lines back open, guys. So Mike's got 4 more minutes.
Oh,
So
It's been a
man.
long minute, bro.
if anybody wants to call in,
Don't ever go bet Adam on Adam time because it's. I mean, I think when we clicked on, it was like
moneymaker.
2:08.
What about the Waffle House last night? Shake that pelvis like Elvis. So if anybody wants to call in, 470-499-0902. I'm way behind.
You got to do like 1,000 members to get the backside.
But anyway, guys, it's been awesome. You guys are great. Hope you guys enjoy what we do here. And
What happened, guys?
We just like to have a good.
Fill me in, Chad. What happened? Like, did he so what? He lost a bet or something like that? Like, what's going on? My goodness, I know not to make any bets with Patriot Pride. That's for sure. Sheesh. Well, at least they had a good time. Big old steroids, man. My man went from skinny Mike to Hercules Mike. Jesus. South Mike, man. Mike definitely going to need a 10 after that one for sure. Check his liver. It's a bit yellow. Man. I think it's Kai. Kai says she just subscribed to April. Shouts to April. Much love to her coming in and chatting with me tonight. And you got a new subscriber, April. I don't know if April's still here, but it looks like April's got a new subscriber. Much love to you. Thanks for subscribing to her. Whew, I needed that laugh. Bola says he'll. That was funny though. At least they had a good time. That really made me lose my thought, man. So I was looking for I had a very hard time looking for the interviews with Savannah and the the Epstein survivors. I was trying to watch a couple of those videos. I was successful enough to find a couple of them. And this was out and about because I was on my phone at the time. And some of these stories, all of them for the most part, are super sad. So I'm probably not going to play them on stream, and they're kind of graphic to me based on certain things that some of these women say that happened to them. So I'm probably not going to play any of the Epstein stories, but I did want to look at them just to kind of see if I saw anything odd from any of the survivors. I think I may even just cover an Epstein story. I think that would be good to cover an Epstein story. I don't know, or cover the Epstein files. Regardless, I mean, it's a really interesting story. A lot to know about that I don't know about. I don't know much about the Epsteins. I just heard a lot of crazy stories when it comes to them. But that's future wise. We'll see. You guys still talking about Patriot Pride? Yeah, that was crazy, guys. That's just crazy. Shouts to I think we had somebody extend up to a month as a member here, as a part of the channel here. And I believe that was, thanks for the $2 super chat, by the way, April. You didn't have to donate anything. I appreciate you. Is it Beniver Hoven? Thanks so much for becoming a platinum member for a month. Much love to you. I appreciate that. Much love. Means a lot. It's actually going to be a fairly slow month for me so far, I think. Which is, I guess, okay. I mean, due to the fact that it's been a busy week, but we definitely got to make some changes here, progress-wise. I was thinking maybe we'll play a little clip from the interview room when they did have a few words about Sheriff Nanos. Somebody brought something to my attention earlier, and I was trying to remember what somebody said they had wanted me to take a look at, but I can't remember. I know somebody was talking about Daphne Case Files, had an interesting video not too long ago. And then also Juanita Adame just released another video. I want to say about 7 hours ago. I think she's talking about the timeline. I was hoping she got some more of those dispatch calls, but it doesn't seem so. But what's interesting is, I haven't watched this video, but one of the things that she's mentioning in this video is that Cameron mentions to the family that it could be a kidnapping for ransom. And I just talked about this just about an hour ago from, being live here. And somebody also just brought it up in chat that they think that Cameron was there the day Nancy actually went missing, which is interesting because I don't know. I can't call it. I really don't know. JLR, I think he thinks that Cameron might have been there on February 2nd. There's a lot of things up in the air that we just still yet to have been figured out. And, it's hard to look past it, and it's hard to say that he wasn't, because, they were having a get together for Nancy that night at Annie and Tommaso's house. But it's questionable because every time we see a family photo, but you got to remember that all of the family photos are the ones that they picked and choose to show the world. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's far more family photos that we haven't seen, but from the ones that we've seen, none of these people, none of these pictures show Cameron and Tommaso together, when the family comes together, which I thought was pretty interesting, because that makes me question whether or not, Cameron and Tommaso have some type of good relationship or not. I feel like there might be some tension between those two, and maybe Cameron does not like, Tommaso for whatever reason. And I would love to hear that story. That would be a very interesting story to figure out whether or not Cameron and Tommaso get along, and I think that's going to be more, now thinking about it, how does Cameron feel? And, another thing is, when they visited that memorial site, why wasn't Cameron there with the family, with Tommaso and Annie? Did he go back home already, or was he still here? but I'm wondering if Cameron might just think, and I don't want to sound crazy, and I don't want to, again, I know I'm not trying to intentionally throw the family under the bus. It's just a thought. But I am wondering if Cameron thinks that Tommaso may have something to do with this. And I don't know why that just came to mind, but I wonder if Cameron, has always felt a certain type of way about Tommaso. If that is the case, I would love to hear, what tension they have or why, he may not like Tommaso. That's an interesting one to think about. But I've yet to see a family photo including the entire family. And I'm just saying with Cameron and Tommaso in the same photo. Very interesting. You've been wondering that? It just came to mind right now. I've never thought about that. Now, the one thing that I've always thought about was the fact that they're never in the same picture, but I've never thought whether or not, I guess I don't know how to really put this in words or in the correct wording for it, but I don't know. I would just love to know if they have a good relationship or not. But who knows? Anyone else wondering if this is all propaganda and Nancy was in some sort of self-witness protection program? How you doing, Alexa, by the way? Big welcomes. No, I've never really thought that she's in a protection, some type of protection place. Besides, I think word would have got out by now. Although, some of those places, I mean, or for whatever place of protection that she could be in, maybe it's so confidential that, it's almost impossible to discover that at all. But I don't think so. I don't. Thanks for sharing April's channel, by the way, Allie. Is it Ali or Allie? I think it's Allie, right? I hope I'm saying that right. You guys know I'm bad with names. There was an interview I watched that had a family member of Cameron's nanny talking about the family dynamics and friction she witnessed when Nancy visited. I can't find it again. Well, if you find that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to share it and listen to it. Robin says, what's going to happen with the banner? Good question. I would love to go down there just to kind of roll by, but not a good idea to go to KBOA for me right now. Linda, big welcomes, by the way. She says, I agree. Juice. C931 says, one of my theories was the last girl that she interviewed after being told no to committed suicide. There were rumors said she was murdered, perhaps maybe someone in the family angry at Savannah. I don't know if I quite caught what you were trying to say there. Probably because you were commenting at the time I was talking about something, so I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at there, so I apologize. Who owns the banner? KBOA is the people who put that banner up. It's a news station. So yeah, they're the ones who own the banner, I suppose. You could call me Muhammad Ali, it don't matter. Oh, stop it. So is it Ollie? It's Ollie, right? See, it's not Allie, it's Ollie. Chase says, I think it all happened way ahead of time, and the porch guy was there just to help set crime scene. That's a good point. And I like the way April put the fact that she pretty much does think that it's an amateur, and I go back and forth with this, but whoever was at that front porch, and hopefully I get this right, this was a cover-up. Or, I'm sorry, not a cover-up, not just a cover-up, but, someone is, preventing us from figuring out information for the most part. And I truly think that's what's going on. And I hate to say that, but, I'm not even going to say the name. But you guys know who I think is covering this thing up. I've said it multiple times. There's no need for me to even, continue saying that. But that's where I'm at. I think that there's a very good possibility that whoever porch guy is, he's being saved by someone. Vicky, thanks for letting me know that we're good on sound earlier, by the way. I appreciate that. Hey, good morning to you, D-Long says, good morning, Juice. Nice to see you. Woke up with an earache this morning. Thank you for your dedication and kindness for Nancy. Much love, D-Long. Good to see you, by the way. And I hope your ear starts to feel better. Put something in that thing. Put some, I think they got some ear stuff you could use. I don't know what it's called. But I've used stuff for earaches. I just can't remember the name. I think it's peroxide too, or something like that. That you could put in your ear for stuff like that. Don't quote me on it though, because I don't remember. Lori says money can only be followed if you look in the right direction. So are you saying follow the money? Feel free to chime in, guys. If anybody wants to call in and share their theory, feel free. The phone number's up there for now. I don't know how much longer we'll be on, but feel free to chime in if you want to share your theory with me. I want a good debatable theory though. I want a crazy theory that I've really never heard before. I'm joking. It doesn't have to be that. Jenny, big welcomes to you, by the way. Sweet oil is excellent, which is olive oil. Works like a charm. I promise, warm it up and drop it in the ear. Never heard of that for an earache. Nice. Good to see you, by the way, Hyper Kimberly. Good to see you. I was trying to find a video that I was looking for here, but I'm having a hard time finding it, so maybe next time. Anyway, let me pull up this. I want to catch a little bit of this. The interview room when they were talking about Mr. Nanos. By the way, interview room's doing very well. They're almost at 300K, man. It must be nice. Maybe one day. I think they've been doing this for 10 years, which is crazy. I've only been doing crime for 4 months. So, but I've been streaming for about 7 if you count the 2 years I took off. So 5. But I've never done crime ever. So this is pretty much Yeah, it hasn't even been close to a year for me. It's actually been half a year.
The law that can refresh people's memories, and it requires you to get off of your butt and get out of the office. And yes, I'm aware it's July and it's hot. Worked in the desert myself. Cop work doesn't stop because it's hot.
Yeah, and you know, while I mean, just think about this dynamic for a moment. You've got the streamers on the street in front of Nancy's house. Okay, I'm not going to go into those dynamics, but the sheriff comes in, he hooks people up, he put people in jail. Okay, the DA's done the right job so far. Tossed. Looks like, you know, a lot of these things are already getting thrown out, which we saw coming. And then on the other side of this now, those same streamers who got arrested are advocating on behalf of Nancy Guthrie in the community where the parks are, you know, where, you know, they're passing out Narcan. Now these same folks are using their own resources to, you know, put flyers out and talk to people, basically kicking the dust up to go talk about.
No, Monkey, they have not. I've been checking quite often. As a matter of fact, we'll take a look right now.
Nancy Guthrie. And what are we hearing from the sheriff? Well, things are drying up. Let's listen to that real carefully, how he presents it here, because this is important.
As you would expect, they have drastically gone down. I mean, the first few days we were just inundated with them, which helps. Now we have to catalog them, prioritize them, look through them. We still get tips day to day, but not the volume we were. But they're still coming, and we would never discourage that. Continue with that.
What kind of forensic evidence is still in the lab at this point?
Well, we've talked a lot about DNA.
You notice how she went right past. She
needs to ask follow-up questions. This is ridiculous.
She took hook, line, and sinker about the tips.
An outrage. She should have asked, why are you not down at Estevan Park? Why are there no porch guy flyers out in your community? What are you actively doing to try to find Nancy's killer or killers?
Yeah, why are the streamers doing this, Sheriff?
I find it very peculiar that he would mention, well, we wouldn't want to discourage that. What?
Yeah, why even say that? Why would say that?
We wouldn't want to discourage that. Does that mean that you believe there's a perception that you're giving off that you're discouraging tips? That to me is really an anomalous thing to say. And the minute I heard that, I go, why bring that up?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Yeah, no, you know, you didn't need to be Nostradamus to figure out, to predict these cases were going to get dropped. And that could play back into somebody within the sheriff's administration.
Mr. Juice. Hello?
Steve?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This is Lily.
Hey, Lily, how you doing? You said you're doing good?
I'm doing great. I had a good weekend.
That's good.
Do you have a good weekend?
It was good. It was a good weekend. We went and watched some fireworks at a pretty big park that, you know, hosts a firework event. It was good. It was great.
Well, I know you got a smile on your face this morning. I said, that's good. And he looks refreshed, so you don't look as tired. So that's a good thing, because you've been looking, I know you've been concerned and worried about everything going on. But what I called in about is, you know, when Nancy first went missing, Trump got on, and I don't want to bring the president into it, but he did. He got on when he was on the airplane. He got online and he said that he would do everything in his power to to solve this case. Paraphrasing, that's the words he said. And then right after that, I mean, he sounded sincere about it, And right after that, everything shut down. Everything. It was just like, it came to a place to where, like they said, Nana, he stopped everything. They didn't put the rope up. They didn't do as far as it be a caution or a criminal place, that nobody could even say that anything really had happened except that she disappeared. I know that this protective program that some of them have said a little bit about, but everybody's been sort of quiet about it because they don't want to believe this. This is something that happens. We had a girl here, Sheila Bradford, years ago, and she was involved in a case, and she was going to be a witness against her boyfriend who had killed and burnt another girl and her boyfriend because they was into it over some shells, because down here in Tennessee they go and get shells out of the river and they sell them and they make quite a bit of money off of them. And they was they got into something over it anyway. He killed those people, and Sheila was going to be a witness, and she contacted the TBI and everything, and she had a meeting with them. The next day, that girl disappeared. They tried to find her and everything, and nobody could find her. Well, the family, of course, was just devastated because you can't tell anyone that you're leaving whenever this protected program takes forth. And she's been gone now for years. They've never found her. Well, they did have the trial, and all these people went to prison and everything. But reason I said that was because at the time, because Savannah has such, and I'm just throwing this out here. People may say I'm crazy for saying this, but they may have told Savannah because she has such influence and because she is on TV and everything. They may have told her and didn't tell the others after this happened or something, because they stepped back. They did step back. And they can't tell anyone if she is in a protective program. They can't tell anybody. And really, they did lose her because they can't tell them where she is. This sounds off the wall and really out of the box. But it is something to think about because there's no clues, there's no evidence. I do believe the porch guy was set up. I believe that he was somebody they just fronted to make, and they didn't realize that it would go as far as it did with publication. They didn't realize it'd get this big, and it has. It mushroomed on them. Now that's my opinion for one theory. That it could be that if they don't find anything. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm open to a lot of folks' opinions. I don't look past anything in this case at this point. It's hard to. It's difficult. I agree with you on the part is the fact that you think it was staged. As far as the porch guy, I can't overlook that at all, because.
Well, see, Trump had just backed away from it. Why would he have done that?
Well, you don't think that he offered, or his help was, part of his help was Kash Patel getting involved?
He did, but what have they done, really?
Well, I think
they've done a lot, but they still haven't got any clues. They haven't got anything. It's just a dead case. We don't want to say it's a cold case, but there's nothing that they really showed that's beneficial for the case.
Well, they did get the clue. They were able to pull, that that's how we got that footage, I think, was, because of the FBI. I wouldn't say that was Trump, because of him, but they were able to
I mean, I'm not
at
coming
least do
against
that.
Trump, don't get me wrong, but I mean, at the first he was so vocal about it, but then you never heard anything from him, as far as, anything, and I know he's not supposed to get involved in things like that as far as, city, but he does whenever there's a riot or something, which has a lot to do with crime and everything, but I don't know. That was just something else I thought about because I am so close to this case down here with Sheila, and they've never found her. They've never found nothing. They've never found nothing, and they just like this. It just got to where we remember her, and her daughter still tries to bring it up, and they even had that program that come on TV where they try to find people that's missing people. They had them to come in, and they had a campaign about it, and they showed it on TV years later. But no, I hope they find Nancy. I hope she's safe. I don't really. If she was kidnapped by somebody, she's not. And I do feel for Savannah because I lost my mother. I know what it's like to lose his mother. Mine died just natural causes. But it's devastating for a lot of people. And we are, just like you, we're all wanting to know where's Nancy.
Yeah.
And that was just something I thought I'd throw out there. And it seems far-fetched, but you have to think outside the box sometimes if you never get no other clues.
I agree. And then also you got to remember too, a lot of the, the help that we've that has been offered, the sheriff has declined a lot of that help,
He did of it. Right.
So, I mean, even if Trump did try to help, I don't know that that Nanos would have even let him.
Well, I understand that, but that just comes to mind how he, when it first happened, how that he exhilarated it, that we would solve this case, and then Nanos, he backed down, and it's like, and the FBI really, they have come in, but it's like you said, they won't let nobody. I mean, there are people out there searching, but they won't let anybody really, really get deep into a search, or like you guys out there, most of you were respectful out there. You was out there for the purpose of trying to get something to bring Nancy home. There was a few that caused a little hiccup. It hurt the rest of the guys as far as the people were concerned, but they did. And just what they're doing right now, they want to close it down for a reason,
Yeah.
And I don't. There's a cover up somewhere, and I've talked a little bit too much this morning, but
no,
I was just thinking about it, and I thought, when there's no other reasoning, where do you go?
Yeah.
What do you say? And it's got to where it's the same thing over and over and over, and we're just sort of like JRL said, JLR said, get my words wrong this morning. I just give us a little bit of bread, give us something, we need to know something about, and I know the family needs to know something if they are not a part of it,
You think the FBI knows everything, or you think that they're where we are?
Pardon?
Do you have any? What do you think about the FBI as far as them knowing anything? Do you think that they know everything, or do you think that because somebody in the chat says that they think the FBI knows everything, so I figured I'd get your thought on that. And I'm assuming not because of your theory, but You know, do you?
Well, that was just one theory. Now that's probably not what happened, but I said that could be a ball, in the game because we've looked at everything else, But as far as the FBI, I think they've done all that they've been allowed to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, Nancy has helped back everybody, and the FBI. I'm not sure about this when I say this, but can they do without his approval?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they would have to find a way to, I don't know what they would possibly be able to do, to really move forward on their own. That's a good question.
I mean, as far as the crime scene, not just that one, but anything about crime, I'm not too savvy about it. All I know is that I have been following this ever since it started, and I'm like a lot of people. I'm really addicted to it. And yesterday you didn't come on, and I missed you yesterday. And I thought when I first got up, because I watch you in the mornings, when I get up, and it's a little after 6 here right now. So what's the time there?
Yeah, right now it's 4 a.m. I wanted to get on. I had it just time got the best of me, and it was a long day. I was pretty tired after all of the popping fireworks. We didn't really come in until because we still had fireworks to let off on our own. And by the time we were done with all that, it was probably dang near 1 a.m. So yeah, it was pretty late. What time's it for you?
Well, it's good to if we can just get a nibble, if we can get something, and I think when I come out, I thought maybe I'll hear something about it. It's just like you and everybody else. I know you're more involved in this. I mean, you're right out there where you can go out if you get a call or something. But we're sitting here waiting for what we hear on TV, and you guys are the ones that we hear it from. The streamers, are the ones that we get our word from. And I appreciate what you're doing, Juice, and you keep it up. And I won't bother you any longer. I'm sure there's somebody else wants to call in.
No, you're all right. It's pretty slow tonight. It's actually fairly
slow. It is.
So
I noticed that. There's not very many people on, but it might be because of you, like you said, everybody's tired from the weekend,
Yeah. So and it's not too much rolling with the case right now either. It's been pretty dry. So
yeah, it is. And that's what I said. I said, we hear the same thing over and over and over, and even the interview room, they're running things over, from the past,
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything to feed on.
That's where it's pretty much been that from for a while. We just kind of keep going in circles, kind of revisiting things. It's unfortunate, but we have to until we get more information, which who knows when that'll be.
Right. Well, I appreciate you talking with me, taking time. And last time I called in, I couldn't hear you because I had my phone cut down and my TV on because I watch it on TV, and then I do this chat on my phone. And so I usually have it cut off, and I was talking and I couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
and I thought, oh man, I can't even hear Juice. But then I realized what it was. It was because I had my phone cut down where I couldn't hear what you were saying, Yeah. But I'm glad you got the chat, and I hope somebody will call in. What I'm thinking from it is maybe the perp or somebody that knows him will call in to one of you streamers and just give enough information
That's
to run
what I'm
with
hoping. And that's why I got to get out here and start trying to, get out here like AJ and, Nick, help these guys out and see if we can try to dig up information.
Right.
You never know. But
well, it's a little hard on you when you got a daytime job too.
yeah, but
it's
I
hard.
can make time. If I was able to make time to go out to Nancy's, I definitely could make some time to get out here and kind of boots on the ground and
Right.
see what,
Did you get some did you get some? Wait just a minute. Let me say what I want to say. Did you get you some flowers?
You said some flyers? I did, but the problem is the flyers are AI pictures, and I can't use that. They got to be the original photos directly from the FBI, or the original photos from the actual original video. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to go do more flyers. But somebody tried to help me out and send me some flyers, and I kind of feel bad because it was a waste of. I think she spent about $13, and I think it was probably over. It's over 100 flyers for sure. Probably about 200 of them. So I'm like,
well,
dang.
when I think it was maybe it was it AJ or who was it that was out there? Someone was out there when whenever Chris first told them to go out in the streets to go to the parks.
Yeah.
He got out there. I think it was AJ or whoever it was, and he was telling them, but he had a few flowers, but he didn't have any to really leave with them, because if they could see that picture, of the perp, and with them all the time, they would do better. And that's why I was asking, did you have any flowers? They wouldn't necessarily have to say anything except the perp, have the perp's picture, for them to remember, because those homeless people, and the word does get out. I mean, they've got little phones and stuff, and if you see someone in the park, or if it's like it is here, if you see one, they contact others without even seeing them that you're there,
Yeah.
And so the word gets out fast, and it might not just be in the park. But you could see, like I remember when JR was went into that little tunnel with where that woman was, that he took her back some groceries and money and stuff, and that little wash, I guess you call it a wash. I saw them, going up the street, on bicycles and walking. And, you don't really have to be in a park to meet somebody like that. I don't know if that's against the law there or not. They've got so many stupid laws there that prohibit you from doing anything, I wouldn't want anybody to get in any more trouble.
No,
but,
that's one of the things that I was saying. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's one of the things I was saying is the park, just the park isn't going to cut it, because there's many places to go where homeless people are at, and you got to expand a little bit more for sure. But it's I guess it's more safer for in certain places. I guess it's never safe, but people might feel safer going to the park rather than going to like ditches and other places. But yeah,
because the law is there. The policemen are there around the parks.
Yeah, they are.
But like I said, you see them walking up the sidewalks and stuff like that, and I guess it's hard to pull over there too whenever you're driving or something, to just give somebody a pamphlet, because you can't put one on a post or nothing. But there's ways to do it, and I'm sure that you'll figure it out and get out there and do it a little bit. What's your hours that you work? Is that too personal to ask your hours that you work?
No, I actually, so normally I guess I won't tell everybody that. Yeah, maybe I won't. Maybe off stream I could tell you, but I usually get off at a very decent time. Usually off about 1:30.
Well, that's what I meant. Did you have any hours, before dark?
Oh yeah, I'm off around noon. I'm off at usually about 1:30.
Oh, that's great.
So I got plenty of time to get out and go search.
Right.
But I'd be more than happy to tell you my hours. I don't mind. I just don't.
Oh, it's all right. It didn't know the hours. I just meant if they was, were flexible enough to where you could get out there. And I know that you did get out at Nancy's, and but it's hot out there now. It's hot everywhere. We're just having this heat wave that's terrible. But I'm gonna get off of here, and you have a blessed day,
you too.
Juice, and we'll see you in the morning.
All right. Much love to you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Sweet lady. I'm glad she called in. Wonderful person. Much love to her chiming in and having a conversation with me there. I don't know. Somebody said something in chat. I missed it. Morning Juice, not sure why, but I can't get replay to work. None of your lives. No, not good. Somebody was calling right now. I'm glad they called back because I was just going to call you back anyways. Wasn't going to leave you hanging. Don't worry. This the Juice.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
I'm the girl that's from Kentucky. How you been?
I've been all right. You know.
Wonderful, wonderful. Am I on? Yeah. I saw the last episode about the ticket. You were heated.
About the ticket, you said?
Yeah, where he gave you the citation.
Oh, you're talking about
I just said,
a month ago or so?
yeah, and I was
Yeah.
just saying that how heated you were.
Yeah, I was yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that's done and over with. Am I on the air?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay. Well, it's hot, like the last lady said. It's hot everywhere, so I'm not gonna really hold you. I was just checking on you.
Oh, you're all right. I appreciate you calling in. You're fine.
Yeah. And you know what? I haven't really been keeping up with this Nancy Guthrie case. I give it a break from time to time.
That's good. Sometimes we need a break from it. I mean, this case is a lot too.
Yeah, but you doing a good job. You being consistent.
I appreciate
Well,
it.
I'm
I'm
not
trying.
gonna hold you, Juice. Yeah. All right, the Juice. I'll let you go.
All right. Much love.
Okay. Have a great day.
All right. You too. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye now. Thank you.
Well, she just called to say hi. I'm glad she called. Much love to her. I don't know if I caught her name. Yeah, so I'm of course I'm not going to talk about the case or anything, but upon checking, nothing for me has been dismissed or anything like that. So hoping so though. Hoping so. Who knows, guys? I can't call it. But as far as from what I can see on here, nothing. Nada. For me, it's it's still showing a hearing. And that is it. For both, actually. It's still showing a hearing. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, same for this one as well. But anyways, yeah, I'm humble and I got my hopes up for sure. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, actually. Excuse me, I said that wrong. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. But I'm humble and I'm staying prayed up and everybody keeps saying I'll be next. We'll see. Can't call it. Thanks for the jewels, by the way, user. I can't call it, folks. Trying to fix this screen real quick. I think we're good now. Sibby says, yes, it is. Yes, it are. So all you can go to is doctor or EMR. Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know if she was talking to me there. Adrian, good to see you, by the way. I don't think I said hello to you tonight. Shout out to Adrian. Much love to you. Everybody's doing all right, I hope. Yeah, I'm doing okay. The Juice did not overthink your welcome, by the way. How you doing, Gertrude, by the way? Shouts Gertrude, plug it in. Ray, you out there? See Gertrude saying that she loves Ray Ray. I was young. All I know was my grandpa was an agent and working on things in Mexico. We got put in a limo and escaped by the help of CIA and soldiers. Interesting. I don't know, maybe if that was intended for me. Ray Ray's out there? I don't remember what his name is. I don't know. I don't think his name is. It must not be Ray Ray in the chat because I actually don't recall seeing somebody's name as Ray Ray in the chat. I'm assuming he's got a different name. I try, Marcus. I try. Much love to you, Marcus. It just always keeps it real, keeps it 100. I try my best. That's the only way I know. Andy says they could come back anytime. Are you talking about the charges? I don't know what Andy's talking about. All right, so let me continue the rest of this video here, and then we'll hop off and be back at it tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get these flyers printed out by tomorrow. I think I have the ones in mind that I want to print out. I was trying to come up with a good idea for the flyers, I guess, because I don't know if I want to do them in an actual photo, because the photo's quite small, and some of these homeless people don't have, like, glasses, which it could be difficult for them to see. But I think this is the flyer that I'm gonna do. So I'll show you guys the flyer here, and I think this is actually from the site. No, I don't think this is the one. But for the most part, it would look like that. But I need to find, I guess, no, I could actually make it bigger and then print them out. But this will be my flyer. And I don't know if I'll keep Nancy on it. I'll probably do one more picture of the actual perp. But I don't know. I think it kind of looks good with Nancy on it. I know Chris had mentioned don't say nothing about Nancy, but we all got our own way of doing stuff. I can't take his entire idea. I got to perfect my own plan. So yeah, I don't know how exactly I want the flyer moving forward, but I think this one's probably perfect. So we might have to make a little stop by Office Max tomorrow or somewhere to make some copies. You like that flyer, Sky? Is that a good one? I think that's a decent flyer. Do you have a music video? A music video, me? I'm not a rapper. Yeah, I agree. Polo says a missing person flyer typically needs a picture of the person. Yeah, I agree. But at this point, you got to understand that we're not, we are looking for Nancy, but we already kind of, to conclusion that in order to, find her whereabouts would be starting with, the actual, perp. So, with that being said, I think we probably may just stick to just the perp on the flyer. I don't know yet. I think we'll probably just go with that flyer. I think that one might be on the FBI website. I think I probably should just check. Well, I'll do that when I get off just to see. Highlight the eyes more? What? That one wasn't What do you mean highlight the eyes more? That's the perfect. It's the original. I think this flyer is original as it's gonna get. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It needs the reward money for sure. It's missing a couple things. That's why I said I don't think this is the original flyer. I think I'm just gonna take the one from the actual FBI site and use that one. Let me see if I can look at that one just real quick here. It's not coming up. Oh, I think this is it. Nope. Why is it so hard to find the actual FBI site? At least get to the, not the FBI site itself, but get to the particular part where it's talking about Nancy. I don't know why it's been kind of difficult to look up lately. What hasn't been popping right up. That is so weird. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe somebody post me the link in the chat if you guys find the actual link to the FBI's article with Nancy. It is not popping up. That is weird. We need flyers out there and Nancy's name and face out there, Juice. So well done. Much love to you, Adrian. Yeah, we got to get a little bit more information on that specific flyer I showed you guys, but I think that one will be good. Oh, you're talking about the AI videos. Yeah, I think I was in the last two that was done by the 777 servant guy, I think. If that's who you're talking about. I don't have that. I don't know. I haven't seen the recent one though. And I can't what's that guy's name? Do you guys remember that guy's name? That does all of the music videos. Ah, thanks, Adrian. There it is. Yeah, that's the one right there. We'll use that one. Well, that's the same one. But it's just missing the bottom part. That's the one we want. So I think we'll use that one. What's weird to me is, why does it say the reward on the FBI site, but it doesn't mention what the reward actually is? Is Savannah no longer offering $1 million anymore? That's interesting. Gertrude, how you doing?
Hey, Jess, it's Gertrude.
What's up? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. Hey, I had an idea about the flyers because they're, showing the flyers. So the ones that you got that were already printed out, you said they're good flyers, but there's just like a picture that you can't have on there.
No, all three are bad, or all four. They're all AI. And they all look like different people. None of them look like the same people.
Well, what if you got artsy with it and just took like a black marker and just drew like something over it, or cut that part off, cut it in half maybe, so it just had the, find Nancy, missing person part?
Then I can't show him a picture though.
Yeah, but I mean, still, just take them and as you're driving, let them fly out of the window all over, you know.
Stop. No, can't do
I mean,
that.
the more you get the word out, the better. I bet there's a way you could still use the flyers. Just kind of give them a little love.
Now you're trying to get me put in jail for littering. It's like 200 flyers.
Yeah, no, maybe not do that. Maybe just tape them to poles. I don't know. I'm high. I was just thinking, I'd hate to see those go to waste.
Yeah, it sucks. They're no good now. Can't even use them. It's sad.
All right, Juice. Well, I'll let you get back to your show. It was good talking to you.
All right, you too. Thanks for calling.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks for that, DJ. Yep, that's the name. I was wondering. I was like, what was I can't remember what we were talking about the flyer, but oh, that's right, the $1 million. We continue to love, respect, support, and pray for you, Juice. We all could learn a real good lesson from you. Humbleness and kindness is fewer in this world. Much love to you, D-Log. I appreciate that a lot. That goes a long way. Truly appreciate that. Daniel says, I'm into true crime and paranormal. If you ever want to collab sometime, the Juice. Nice. All right, man. Maybe I'll consider it one of these days. You do you do YouTube content or? Oh, you're new to YouTube. Got you. It's Fat Redoubt who makes the song. He makes them for some of the streamers. Yeah, but I think Serve, what's the name? The Servant guy is the one who makes like the funny videos. Of the streamers. But I don't think he's did any recent ones. Somebody did make a video, I thought, and I think it was a recent one. But also, like, he also has put together some of the days. Oh, he did make a video about 5 days ago. See, I don't want to get copyright. I don't know if it will get copyright. I guess I could cut it out. I guess he did make another recent video. You guys want to watch it? I guess we could watch it before I get off here. You want to see that the 4th of July one? Oh God. It's funny how none of the characters they never look like me in 857. But JLRs and criminal networks are always like right on the money. But mine's always sucks. And nothing against him. I love and enjoy it, by the way. They just never look like me. Moose says you need a comedy video about toes in the road. That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. All right, we'll play that. Give me a second here. I just want to actually I could do that while we watch this here. Do you guys know if the video's copyrighted though? With the song. That's what I'm worried about. Hey, that kind of looks like 857.
July 4th, red, white, and blue. 250 years, and freedom still rings true. The Constitution gave the people a voice. Free speech, free press, and the right to choice. But in Catalina foothills, something went wrong. Streamers stood their ground, boots on ground strong. Across from Nancy's house, they came to report, then found themselves fighting citations.
Okay, criminal, I see you back there.
Boots on the ground, JLR, Army stand tall. Freedom of speech still belongs to us all. Red, white, and blue, let the truth shine through. Tucson 857, Dodgers, and Alex too.
Okay.
On the ground, JLR Army. AP 57 got cited, then the charges got dropped, but the questions remain, and the cameras never stopped. Juice got 2 citations. July 2nd, he appears. Alex got 2 misdemeanors and 1 felony to clear. It don't feel fair, it don't feel right when the free press gets pushed out of sight. So JLR respond, let the people be heard. The First Amendment still means every word. Boots on the ground, JLR. Freedom of speech still belongs to us all. 250 years in the red, white, and blue, standing for freedom and the truth, breaking through. Boots on the ground, JLR Army.
Bro, that guy does not look like me. And why does he have on high socks? What is going on, man? Come on, man. You know I don't look like that. Look at the, I mean, what kind of glasses are those that he has on? Those look terrible. What is that? Oh, God. And then look at criminal in the back. Oh, man. What does he got going on back there? Oh, God.
New to the channel, welcome. Very grateful for you to be here. And if you're just stopping by, hit that sub, like, notification button.
South Serving, man. Check that guy out. Awesome channel he's just got going for himself now. The Faithful Servant 777 is the name. Check it out. Much love to him putting these videos together for us. Like I said, that's not the only video he had put together. He's put together several music videos. Nonetheless, he's also put together from the beginning days up into the more recent days out at Nancy's house, and I'm sure that probably took some time. Fearless, thanks so much for the jewel, by the way. I'm sure that probably took him some time. Shouts to him, man. We appreciate it. And it's actually something positive. We always hear a lot of negative stuff. So yeah, much love. We appreciate you. Somebody called me right now. I don't know if I missed the call or I was able to answer it. I think they might have called while Gertrude was on the line. We'll do this last call here. Juice Great Guitar, terrible. Donna says leave Nancy off the flyer.
Hello, this is Dina. At the present time, I'm
Oh,
unavailable
okay. So
to receive your call.
I did talk to her. Okay, sorry, Dina. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I thought it didn't show that I was the number that I just recently spoke to. Actually, that number didn't show up at all. It just showed as a missing phone call. So sorry about that. Oh, I was gonna look something up before I chime out. Let me see. Real quick, I want to look this up. So why doesn't the $1 million reward show when you're looking on the FBI site for Nancy? Why aren't they including that? Because Savannah's got, the $1 million that she's offering, and then the FBI is offering 100,000. Let's just say somebody reaches out to the FBI and they have information. How do they? I mean, I'm assuming that the family would just reach out and pay this person, and they would get the $1 million separately from the family, I guess. Or would they just kind of add that onto the pile with the $100,000 that the FBI is offering? Because it doesn't say. Then I think they should change that to $1 million, because that's what the award is if she's offering that. That would really suck if they, it turns out they're not giving that $1 million for any information. That'd be a bummer. So are we with the band? Yeah, yes, indeed. Thanks for posting that, Adrian. I don't know if somebody's trying to reach out, but yeah, feel free to email me if you'd like. That is the email. Adrian just posted it in the chat. Ted's Ninth Cone says, "Oh man, why you have that name? Oh my goodness." The FBI is not offering the $1 million, so they aren't going to put it on their official flyer. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But somebody that's not familiar with the case, I guess it would just be a surprise to them, and they wouldn't know that they're obligated to get $1 million is my thing. Because the reward is technically, yeah, exactly, Kim Jones. It's 1.2 million. That's the reward, period. So it's like they should just put that on there, especially if it's coming from Savannah. They aren't paying it, it's private money. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Good point. Good point. If you had information, you should give it away. What's wrong with my name? Nothing's wrong with your name. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's funny. You know what you did. Marcus Northeast says, "Juice, why wouldn't Savannah offer $5 million just to see what happens? She's worth 40 to 50 per year." Good point. Good point. I couldn't tell you that. Why didn't she pay to begin with? If she's willing to offer that or offer $1 million, why wouldn't she pay? Nonetheless, why wouldn't she? Why? I'm trying to put this in the best way possible. If I were her, I just would have took the risk. But what I was gonna say was she's also given away $500,000. So she's pretty much telling us she had 2 million. In reality, what's $4 more million? And initially it wasn't even 6 million. So I mean, she could have just paid, especially if you could give away half of it. And that's the thing about this case, is things just don't even make sense. But I mean, she's giving away, I mean, she's obviously going to put that money away. It's probably not just sitting in her account. It's probably ready to go somehow, some way, just in case, I would assume. Because you can't really just go withdraw that type of money. I don't think that's an amount you could just go withdraw. I don't know how that works with the bank. But also, I think if somebody were to win that money, they would receive it over a period of time. I don't think they would get it instantly. There's going to be a twist to that for sure. It's not going to be as simple as it sounds. But my thing is, yeah, if she's going to, she's pretty much, at this point, she hasn't really technically given it away, but she's put up $1 million plus the $500,000 that she's already given away. So 1.5 in totals is pretty much what's already deducted. You could assume that it's deducted because she's offering it until otherwise. So that's bothering to me. But who am I, and I guess who am I to judge as well? They have GoFundMes. Innocent says, very scary world we're living in today. The YouTubers have made flyers, done sine waves, etc. We are all very grateful it's got Nancy's name out there and keeping the case alive. I agree, Adrian. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys all for stopping by and tuning in with me. They don't want a Harvey Levin to pay the $60K either. Good point. Yeah, I remember that. Isn't that frustrating? I don't get that either. Why not? Well, you know what? Maybe that's not even a good idea, because if they're not budging for, this $1 million, what makes you think they're going to budge for 60? But, if this is a different person, maybe this person will budge for 60K. Not only that, they don't seem to be the person involved, so I don't know. But I know Cheryl McCollum had said, the other day, is she made a point to saying, why would they budge for, well, she didn't say that. She just said that she knows for a fact that the ransom notes are not legitimate, because why would somebody, ask for, $1 million or millions in Bitcoin and then turn around and ask for 60K in Bitcoin when you got, $1 million reward? And I can agree with that to an extent, if it's the same person. That's why I say to an extent, because if it's not, then I guess it makes sense. And I think we're all convinced at this point those are two different people, pertaining to the first two letters. Well, versus the first two letters. So yeah, I don't know what to think about the ransom thing sometimes, but I'm not somebody who believes either of them are actually real. So for me, I don't even think too much about the ransom notes anymore. But it does bother me that Savannah didn't just go ahead and send that money just to see what happens. And, if you think about it, you just sent money to somebody. Just think about it. Just put yourself in that situation for a second. You're demanding millions of dollars in Bitcoin, and then it gets sent to you. Are you going to let $2 million just sit there in your account, your Bitcoin account or your bank account, and just sit there and look at it? Or at some point, are you going to try to figure out ways you could come up with to try to take this money out? I'm going to sit up there plotting on how I'm going to get this money out. I think the higher the amount, the more of the risk of, the more risk you're going to take temptation wise. So the higher the amount, the more temptation. So I think even now would be a good idea to even just take the risk. And I'm pertaining to the ones that people think are legitimate, though. Take the risk. There's got to be a way for them to somehow trace this person and get that money back. Because either way, whoever it is, let's just say it's not the perp, they should be able somehow, some way to trace and track that money once they put that money into the Bitcoin account. This is the FBI we're talking about, right? Wouldn't you think they would have some type of source they could reach out to leave some type of trace on the money sent through Bitcoin? Like, and I'm saying as far as them reaching out to, as far as them reaching out to the company that, runs this whole thing for whatever app that they're using to send this Bitcoin in. Much love, keeping it real. Thanks so much for the $20 super chat. It says Juice, here's the help for the cost of the flyers. Be blessed, man. Much love. I appreciate that. Keeping it real. Much love to you. And I will go get those flyers tomorrow once I get off work. Thanks so much. But just remember that the more money they put into that Bitcoin account, the higher risk, and I mean the higher temptation that it's going to be for this person. So I think the FBI should take that chance. But that's just me. I thought I saw a Criminal Network in here make a comment a second ago. Did I miss it? Grace says they can't track who sent the emails into TMZ from the tip line mailbox. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, they still, from what I've heard, they weren't able to track that IP address as far as the emails. But I mean, the Bitcoin, from what I've discovered online upon doing research, they're highly traceable. Crystal says I would never ask for Bitcoin to start with. I agree. That's a dummy. And for all we know, this could be, it could be another, Kalela situation. For all we know. But I mean, this is your mother. Your mom's out here missing. So I think with that being said, just take whatever risk that it takes to bring Nancy home. Whatever it takes. Is it too late now? Well, I don't know. I don't know. But still no Nancy, still no perp. Only time will tell. And a lot of time, unfortunately, has gone by. We just walked in today, 156 now. Overthinker says, how is this spoof ransom writer smarter than the FBI, detective, police, etc., and none can find out who it is or where they come from? Good question. Good question. Challenger, the energy's perfectly fine. I'm good. I've actually been pretty happy lately. Somebody in the chat, they deleted the comment. They said my energy seems a little off this morning. Am I worried about something? No, not worried about anything. I don't have nothing to worry about. Sylvia Davis says, thank you, Brother Juice. Anytime, man. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, guys. Much love to you all. I appreciate the love, the support, and all the company, guys. Always. It's always a pleasure having everybody here as a part of the channel here. Anywho, guys, on that note, I am going to sign off. Much love to all of you guys. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow night. God bless you guys all for your love and support and being here and spending time with me here. Hope you guys have a good morning, a good Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. Here we go again. Somebody's mentioning Daphne case files. I don't know if I missed something in chat in regards to Daphne. Were we supposed to watch that or something? I don't know. We'll catch it tomorrow or something. Yeah, I agree, Agent. Amazing chat. And chat was actually pretty smooth tonight. Wasn't too crazy. But much love to you guys all. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Stay safe. And God bless you guys all. It's your boy, the Juice. And I'll see you guys next time, guys.
We won't bow down. Yeah. Yeah. They shut the gate too fast. Call it peace, call it class. But I see who they wave through, and I see who they ask to move. Porch lights on the same old block, same old story, same old talk. If your skin says you don't belong, they can make a wrong look strong. But the fences don't define us, and the fear they feel will blind us. Every face they try to hide still stands right here tonight. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Keep us out, keep us out, keep us out. Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down. Names get tossed like stones from a driveway built on loans. They pointed brown hands first, then pretend they don't rehearse. But the steps on every street carry more than whitewashed dreams. We belong where we stand, no permission in our hands. Yeah, and the silence won't protect you when the pattern keeps on showing.